championship game for the first time.
Accredited, safety trained, and ready to contribute from day one. With 83% of RAP students continuing their apprenticeships after high school, investing in youth today means securing your workforce for tomorrow. Don't wait. Visit careersnextgen.ca to get started.
The Price is Right Live is at the Brick. Come on down to any Brick location for your chance to win over $300,000 in prizes. They're giving away shopping sprees, mattresses, appliances.
The league's top shot blockers turn to Wade Derek Jones Jr.
This Saturday.
Now let's change in directions. Stephon Castle. Everything in his back so far tonight to lead San Antonio on the scoreboard.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 14.
The middle court to break it.
He breaks it down like no one else. The end of 1440.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just $1 a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
For 50 years, the Selby Group has been building trusted homes and strong communities. This year, we're celebrating that milestone with special events. Discover Hillshire by Selby Group. Beautifully designed homes in a community built for the way you live today. And coming this spring, move-in ready spec homes will be available. Your new home is waiting. Celebrate 50 years of Selby Group at Hillshire. Visit selvygroup.com or stop by Hillshire today.
I'm Rick Showers from Noble RV, and if you want your trailer to be ready for May long weekend, the time to make your plan is not in the spring, it's now.
Everyone wants to be ready to hit the great outdoors at the same time, right, Rick?
That's right, Bob, but a little foresight can have your camping plans firmed up while everyone else is putting it off for later. At No Bull, we're building our spring startup schedules now, so it's a good time to get on our list.
And there's only so many RVs you can work on between then and now, right, Rick?
It's a zero-sum game, Bob. We have a finite number of RV techs and service bays. We're working every day from now until the busy season, and there's one thing I'll guarantee. Every spring startup slot for May long weekend will be reserved by April 1st. So if you want to spend Victoria Day in the great outdoors instead of wishing you were in the great outdoors, drop by or give us a call now. You'll thank me later.
And that's No Bull.
NobleRV.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show. On Sports 1440.
The league's top shot blockers turn to Wade Derek Jones Jr. Now let's change in directions. Stephon Castle. A little bit of everything in his back so far tonight to lead San Antonio on the scoreboard.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
To the championship game for the first time.
When I was young, it's not my problem. It's not my problem.
I'm sure there's people right now in the Orders organization. Man, it's not my problem, but it's everybody's problem. Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440. Sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. And it's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province. PlayAlberta.ca. And tonight, Lotto Max, $40 million. Get your tickets. PlayAlberta.ca. Good luck. Remember, if you win, you invite us to the party. If we win, you're coming to the party because it's We'll have multiples. It would be loads and loads of fun. We have lots to discuss. Oilers fans, I'm sure a little in the dumps today with the announcement that Leon Draisaitl will not be playing again in the regular season, which really on a personal note sucks for him because he's 3 points shy of 100. It would have been his 7th 100-point season, which joins a really exclusive group of players. There's not many players in the history of the game who have scored 100 points in 7 different seasons. You, of course, Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Connor McDavid, of course, is now third with 9 seasons of 100 points. Marcel Dion has 8. Mike Bossy, Peter Stastny, each with 7. Draisaitl would have become the 7th player. No brainer. He only needed 3 more points to get there. But now I'll have to wait. It also would have been his 5th consecutive season of 100 points, which also pretty rare. He would have been I would have moved up into tie with Esposito and Dion and Curry and lots of other guys, but still one of only 13 guys to do it. So he'll have to wait another year. Well, actually, for him to do 5 in a row again, probably not going to happen. So that's unfortunate. But the Oilers, he's out for the year. I would expect the Edmonton Oilers to move Leon Draisaitl to LTIR probably tomorrow, Thursday at the latest, because then they'll be able to recall some other players. Now, you're going to remember the rules for the LTIR that, he's going to come back. So it wouldn't be the full boat. They don't need the full boat, right? It would be like $3.8 million that you can use. And that would give them more than enough space to call up a defenseman and a forward. I could see it happening. I don't think they want to keep running with just 6 defensemen and just 12 forwards. So I would expect a recall in the next few days, move him to LTIR. It doesn't impact your cap at all. Right. And you can call up lots of guys then because the Oilers would have 3.8 mil. And there's no roster limit. There's just salary cap. But expect Draisaitl hopefully to be ready for the playoffs. That's what the announcement came out today is for him. I don't think it's a hip flexor, which, some people thought maybe that was the issue. Hip flexor wouldn't be over a month at this stage. So we'll try to find out what it is. As I mentioned yesterday on the show, if you watch the play, his left knee buckles before the hit. It was just kind of weird just how he skated. And then, there's the absorbs it. Who knows? Maybe it was a broken rib, but even a broken rib, I don't think you'd guarantee the guy's going to be out a month. So unfortunate news for the Oilers, but the Dallas Stars went 14-0-1 with Rantanen and Roope Hintz, both of them out of the lineup for half of those games. The Pittsburgh Penguins haven't had Crosby since returning from the Olympics. And guess what? They went into Colorado last night and blew the doors off the Avs. Now, they did score 7 goals on 20 shots. And it's funny, everybody focuses on Tristan Jarry. No one's saying anything about, go look at Mackenzie Blackwood's numbers since the break. Not good, right? He's got like a 3.3 goals against average. Save percentage is like 870. Goaltending can be finicky for lots of teams. But because they're in first, people don't focus on it as much. I do, because I like to look around and see what's going on. I still think Colorado's a good team. But right now, they're like, hey, Mackenzie Blackwood, we need you to play better. And a huge game tomorrow night between the Stars and the Avs. It's funny. Both of them lost last night. The teams who needed to win last night, they all won except the Bruins, but the Bruins did get a point as they lost and got in overtime with like 6 seconds left as Paul Cotter scored that one. So you look at the standings, man, they're getting closer. But the Penguins, 83 points. Islanders, 81. And then you got the Red Wings with that. We said it. That was a must-win game against Calgary. They got it done. They're at 82. The Bruins are at 81. The Blue Jackets are at 79. They have a game in hand on the Bruins. They have 2 games in hand on the Red Wings. And then there's the Ottawa Senators who also have 2 games in hand on the Wings, 1 on the Bruins. They're at 77 points. So it will be a great race. Tonight, the Edmonton Oilers, they have a chance to unofficially, I think, put the San Jose Sharks in the rearview mirror. You win tonight, you're 7 points up on the Sharks. Now, they got 16 games to go, but 7 points, and you look, Edmonton has the tiebreaker, so it's basically 8 points. right? So you got to, if Edmonton just goes 500, which I think would be low for them, right? Let's say Edmonton goes 7-6 in their final 13 games. That would get them then to 91 points. The Sharks, they would need 22 points. So they'd have to go 11-5. Possible, yes, but way higher winning percentage than they've had all year long. So this is a big game tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. And hey, you know what? Yeah, it sucks that Leon Draisaitl's out. But the Oilers have played well when Draisaitl's been out. They played well when McDavid's out in the past. And now it's opportunity knocks, baby. There's going to be some guys. Somebody's going to get power play time. Podkolzin. You know, I wonder, maybe Matt Savoy gets a look. Jack Roslovic. Maybe they'll try different looks depending on how it goes. We'll see. But you've got some other guys that can get some points there. Dickinson, Roslovic, Nugent Hopkins is probably your second line right now. Then you got Szymanski with Podkolzin and Kapanen. That line can chip in, no question. Right? Trent Fredericks played well. He's got to keep playing well. Adam Henrique, sure would be nice to get a goal from him at some point. Max Jones, up and down. I wonder, could the Oilers recall someone? But the thing is, like, if you recall a forward, like, where's Ike Howard playing? He's not playing on the top line. He's not playing ahead of Savoy. I don't think if Nugent Hopkins on the wing, he's not playing ahead of Nugent Hopkins. He's not playing ahead of Podkolzin. So who would he play ahead again? Roslovic, Kapanen, Hyman? The only way you would then is move Nugent Hopkins between Podkolzin and Kapanen and put Szymanski on the fourth line. And then you'd have Ike Howard play, but then he's playing with Dickinson and Roslovic. Decent, but he doesn't have the defensive acumen to play the role that you want Dickinson to play. So I'm not sold that it's a lock that Ike Howard comes in and going to play a ton. Maybe he gets recalled because I think the Oilers do want extra bodies here, and they've got the cap space now with Draisaitl done for the year, so you could do it for sure. So we'll see. Other games tonight of note that matter in the National Hockey League, and there's a lot of them. It's good. The Islanders are in Toronto. Boston and Montreal, a classic original six matchup, and the Canadians wanting to get some separation over some teams, so they want to win. The Blue Jackets are hosting Carolina. It's a tough game for them. The Jets, if they think they have any hope, they got to win tonight. Oilers and Sharks, that's a big one. Then you have the Golden Knights hosting the red-hot Buffalo Sabres. And the Lightning are in Seattle to take on the Kraken. So some late games that definitely will impact the Oilers in the standings. Maybe probably rooting for some Atlantic Division wins between Buffalo and Tampa Bay. We'll take your thoughts. What do you think about Draisaitl? 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Connor Halley is here. Con man, what was your original thought when you heard Draisaitl out for the rest of the regular season?
That's not good. That was probably my initial thought when I saw that. Based on things that we had seen, him getting back out there on the ice, I thought maybe a couple games just because he was given the go-ahead to try again and get back out there. It's not ideal, obviously. I mean, you're taking away one of the best 5 players in the world off your roster. It's going to be tough, but I think for this team and everyone out there, outside of Connor McDavid, and maybe that's it. Everyone's got more to give. Everyone can do a little bit more to help out this team and do those little things. And, I think that's going to be it for the big club. We saw, talking about McDavid yesterday when we thought it might be short term. Everyone's got to do a little bit more. Everyone's going to kind of fill that void. You've got a San Jose team coming in here that's going to be really hungry and has one of the best players in the world themselves there. So, I think you got to look at it as an opportunity, Jason, for the players on this team who, can try to fill that void. Someone's going to get a shot on the power play. Someone's going to jump into the top 6. Someone's going to be out there in key situations, and that's a great opportunity. So I'm really intrigued to see, who it is and who grasps it and what happens from there. And you just hope for Leon Draisaitl's sake that when the playoffs roll around, he's ready to go or as close as he can be.
Yes, that's obviously a big one. I think Edmonton, you know what, you can go down the regular season, and I fully expect the Oilers to be a playoff team, and I still expect them to compete for home ice advantage. I really do. This is an opportunity for the team to say, you know what, let's keep playing good defense. Excluding the Dallas game, the Oilers have played pretty well defensively coming out of the break. And, lately, they've started to lower their goals against. Again, I know you kind of have to remove the Dallas game. I'm looking at all the other games. You know what? When you've allowed 12 goals in 5 games, that's pretty good. You're going to win a lot of hockey games when you're keeping the opposition under 2.5 goals a game. Right? That's not a hard hot take by any stretch. So we'll see where the Oilers go and who steps up. They're going to need some guys to step up. Dickinson, Nugent Hopkins, Roslovic, they're going to have to contribute 5-on-5. Podkolzin and Kapanen, they're going to have to do that. I know Szymanski's more defensive-minded player, but you know what? Everybody's got to pull up their side. There's not one guy who's going to replace Leon Draisaitl. Not close. Do I think Connor McDavid can carry the load a bit? Yeah, he can. He already does, but I wouldn't be surprised if he elevates his game even a little bit more coming up. So we'll get to that. And we got some stats on him a little bit later on that I wanted to get to. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Coming up, David Amber will join us. We're going to talk a little hoops with Paul Sir. Terry Ryan will be by. Randy Hahn joins us, talk about the San Jose Sharks. We got Struddy, Speck, DVD, Cam Tate. I got some real good stats of the day today that might blow your mind a little bit. Also, today, we just got these. You know what? Hey, Greg's, I saw that it's your Gregor's grad, so I'm going to donate my tickets and hopefully you can auction them off and suit up a kid. I like that. Thank you very much. So we have a pair of seats, lower bowl, good seats. We're kind of on the end where the Oilers attack twice. Nice. So if you want to go to the game tonight, all the money will go to the Gregor Foundation. It is that season. We're closing in on probably having to suit up 200 grands this year. So, and can do it for around, 400, give or take. Depends on the tailoring and such, but an average $425, which is a new suit, everything, socks, belt, shoes, shirt, suit, tailoring, everything. So pretty good. We get some great deals through the suppliers, and Mr. Dirk does all the tailoring, which is awesome. So if you want to go to the game tonight, it's a pretty big game. Macklin Celebrini, Connor McDavid, head-to-head, and you can help out the Gregor Foundation. So 833-401-1440 if you want to go to the game. 833-401-1440. Just text in your bid, and away we go. And indeed, today was day one of the Gregor's grads. And big shout out again to Mr. Dirk and Dustin, who helps run everything. And, we wheeled in about, I think it was 48 kids we got through there today. And I can tell you, I know a lot of you have donated money, and we've got some big sponsors, Go Auto and GS Construction and Select Engineering and Overhead Crane and many others who help out. Some who don't want, some who ask me to keep anonymous, which I will. But I can tell you, it is in a time where we always, we get inundated with kind of the negativity. I think sometimes online, it's just good to see genuine happiness. Lots of gratitude. When the kids come in, many of them have never been into a store like Mr. Dirk. And they don't know, we always kind of through the teachers and counselors, like they know they're coming to get fitted for a suit. They never know that it's theirs to keep. And when you have the opportunity to tell them that, you should just kind of see their face kind of light up. And, any parent out there can tell you, at times 16, 17-year-old boys aren't necessarily the most talkative all the time and maybe aren't the best at showing their emotions when they're super happy, right? You might get a little side hug sometimes, mom or dad, but it's good. And you can see some genuine happiness with them. And so to all those who donate, thank you very much. It does make a world of difference to these kids. I posted some of the thank you letters we've had in the past, and I always do that again. I think for you kind of, when they put it in their own words what that suit means, like for some of these kids, their first person in their family's ever graduated. Some of them have, lost a parent recently or have a parent who's very sick, or, some of them have been through multiple foster homes and are just grinding it out. Some of them, unfortunately, live on their own, kicked out of their home, don't have a safe home to be to. And I will say, shout out to the teachers and the counselors who go above and beyond to help a lot of these kids, to just give them a chance. And that suit, anybody out there, maybe you got a wedding coming up this summer. It doesn't matter if you're 18, you're 10, you're 25, 45. When you get a new suit that first time and you look in the mirror and you're like, you stand a little taller. And think about if you've had one before. You still know what it feels like, but it's still nice. Hey, what's happening, right? Heck, sometimes you get a new shirt and you feel that way. Well, now you feel that way from someone who's never had a suit. Or for a lot of them, didn't think they'd go to grad because they couldn't afford a suit. And now you give them that opportunity. It's a real cool experience. I wish more people could see it. So I always try to spread that around to people because it does. It's a real feel-good day and a time where maybe you don't have a ton of it. And so it's like a positive Tuesday for me in advance. And this is one of 4. I think we had 11 different schools represented today from different places. So, you're listening out there. There's probably someone from the high school you graduated at that we're helping now. So always remember that. We might do a little bit of a fundraiser later on, depending, because kind of a softie. It's hard for me to say no if somebody comes up late. I think we, for the most part, give or take, are covered for our fundraising, but sometimes might need a little extra. So either way, thanks for everybody who has donated in the past. Very much appreciate it. We got opening bid of 300 for the game tonight. I like it. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Hey, Greg, so I'm curious, where would you place Ingram next year if he plays decent in the playoffs? I love what he's done, but I wonder if it can be a 1A. Do we have to go back to 1A and 1B? Probably too early, Rob, to say, like, Tristan Jarry's under contract for next season. Right? Like, where's he going to go? You're not buying him out, right? You're unlikely to trade him. And I'm not one who just like, oh, Tristan Jarry had a bad 12 games. That means he's terrible. He's never going to recover. Lots of guys in lots of different places. First time you get traded, it doesn't go well right away. There's emotional shock, culture shock, situational shock, whatever it is. Confidence, who knows? So Tristan Jarry, you know what? I wouldn't rule Tristan Jarry out from being a guy who maybe can help you in the playoffs even. Like the goalie position, like a lot of other positions, is very finicky, and it can change from time to time. All of a sudden, the guy looks bad and makes a big save at a key time. His confidence comes back. It helps if your team defense plays better. I think Ingram's clearly the guy. I'd play Ingram tonight. Probably going to play him on Thursday. Might even play him on Saturday, right? And Jarry maybe probably gets one of the 2 road games next week. And if he plays well, then maybe I don't have to play Ingram as much. Right? That's kind of where they're at. So for me, it's too early to even say where Ingram is. First of all, he doesn't have a contract, but I think if he plays well, then yeah, he's a guy that you're probably going to look at for sure. Because I don't think he's going to cost a huge amount on the free agent market. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. We got lots more on Leon Draisaitl, a few more bids to get to. Oh, by the way, we'll end the bidding on this one probably sooner than later, just to give you some time. So we'll probably go to like 3:30. So a little bit of a rapid fire one, 833-401-1440. Want some sweet seats to the game tonight against the San Jose Sharks. We'll return. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our #1 selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
With the lead up to the playoffs underway, players are definitely stepping up their game.
And the fans are doing the same. Simple snacks like chips and dip may work at the front half of the season, but now more and more fans are rocking the Wilhauk beef jerky for game time get-togethers.
Just make sure you bring enough for everyone if you want to be invited back for the playoffs.
Make your next hockey game day a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't win games with salad.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of CanTorque. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at CanTorque.com. Our tools age better than I do.
Oodle Noodle origin. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudel, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudel was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as
Noodle Noodle.
Oil Kings Hockey takes to the ice at Rogers Place for the final regular season game this Sunday.
It's the Team Awards game. See who scores the hardware pregame for Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, MVP, and more.
With all the family fun Sunday face painting, bouncy castles, and Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less.
Plus a post-game autograph session.
Edmonton Oil Kings, Calgary Hitmen. Team Awards game, 4 p.m. Sunday.
The final home game this season at Rogers Place before playoff action kicks off, starting at $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
What a performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
For 50 years, the Selby Group has been building trusted homes and strong communities. This year, we're celebrating that milestone with special events and anniversary promotions you won't want to miss. Discover Hillshire by Selby Group, beautifully designed homes in a community built for the way you live today. And coming this spring, move-in ready spec homes will be available. Your new home is waiting. Celebrate 50 years of Selby Group at Hillshire. Visit selvygroup.com or stop by Hillshire today.
Millions and millions of Canadians do not have a doctor. We have a crisis. Canada's medical clinic is opening clinics across Canada to allow everyone to have a doctor to call their own. Early detection saves lives. If you are hearing this ad, then we've got some good news. Canada's medical clinic Windermere is now open. Call now and book an appointment with your new doctor. canadasmedicalclinic.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers' push to the playoffs is on, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and play score and win every game. See more at ontherocks.yeg.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$25. Welcome back. Before we get to our next guest, I just want to read this one. I like this. And by the way, Brian's at $300 for the game tonight. Oilers and the Sharks. Great seats lower. We'll always try to get them up a little bit more. You just get to face value. So currently at 300, 833-401-1440. Hey guys, well, one of the young men that I'm at a school with actually just came back from his Gregor's fitting today. This young guy's had some struggles. He almost never smiles. He just got back to school after getting fitted for a suit, and he was beaming. His teacher noticed and asked him what was up. He subtly mentioned he got fit for his first ever suit and now actually wants to go to grad banquet. He wasn't planning on going before because he didn't have a suit. His Block 4 teacher then said she heard him talking to his buddies about even asking a girl to go to grad with him. What a difference a suit can make. Thank you, from Bob. Well, I appreciate that, Bob. It's awesome. You know, hey, what it does for a lot of people, it's no different. Anybody, you got your favorite shirt. You just feel a little bit more confident, right? If all of a sudden, ladies, guys, you're going out in the town, you're like, you know what? Maybe I'm going to try to meet someone tonight, looking good, comb your hair, give you a little swagger. All of a sudden, if you feel that you're better looking, you are better looking. That's just a fact. That's how it goes. So we're glad to help. I love that story, Bob. Thanks for sharing. Now, Oilers tonight, of course, taking on the Sharks. Big game. The big news, Leon Draisaitl will be out for the remainder of the regular season, according to the Edmonton Oilers. To discuss that and more, we get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Spruce Grove Saints. Are coming down to the wire. Very few games left. You can get your tickets. Go to sgsaints.ca. Also, if you want to get playoff tickets, because the Saints are going to the playoffs, get your ticket, sgsaints.ca. host of Hockey Night in Canada. David Amber joins us. David, how you doing, my man?
Good, Jason. How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm excellent. It's the weather's nice. The melt is on. We had a good fitting day for our grad. So, hey, man, things are good. It's not great for Oilers fans, of course, with the injury to Leon Draisaitl, but I talked about it off the top. The Dallas Stars, no Rantanen, no Rupe Hintz, no problem. They went 14-0-1. Right? The Pittsburgh Penguins, no Sidney Crosby, and they're still in second place. Like, it sucks for the Oilers, but I'm a firm believer if you're a good team, you can overcome one injury for, a shorter period of time, 13, 14 games.
Yeah, well, listen, we're going to find out a little bit about the DNA of this Oilers team for sure. And this has been a year with this compressed schedule, at least in my opinion. I don't remember a rash of this many injuries to like high-end players in one season. I just can't. I'm sure it has happened, but you just rattled off a few names. There's been others as well who've missed extended periods of time. And now we see Austin Matthews has gone for the year as well. So, I think it's funny, Connor McDavid's been sensational as he always is. And now he's really going to, in a way have to elevate his game if that's even possible. And certainly the surrounding groups can have to dig in as well because, unlike the last few years where it's sort of been ho-hum in the regular season, that's not the case. You got sort of 3-4 teams hot on the Oilers' tails and nothing can be left taken for granted at this point, right? Like every point really matters. A game against the Sharks, which maybe no one had circled on their calendar at the start of the year, suddenly has, uber importance and makes for an interesting last 5 weeks of the season for sure.
Yeah, it definitely does in Edmonton. You look at the playoff races overall. Like you just look at last night. Detroit, desperate for a win. They get it. The Pittsburgh Penguins, no Crosby. If Jenny Malkins comes back, puts on a Superman cape, it scores 2 goals, and it's like, hey, I got things. And they get a bit, and they actually... Well, they demolished Colorado more so just on being efficient with their shots, 7 goals on 20 shots. The LA Kings go into New York and they get a win. And, the Mammoth, not that they're in much trouble, but securing their spot. Like pretty much other than the Bruins who only got a single point, everybody got a point last night. Like there's so many tight races, not just for playoff spots, but seedings across the board. It's great.
That's why it's so tough to dig out when you're 3-4 points out of a playoff spot. And you're 2 or 3 teams out. I was on doing a hit before and they're talking about the Jets. And I'm like, it's not the matter of how many points the Jets are out. It's the number of teams in front of them. That's the issue, right? It's just so hard to climb because on any given night, 2, 3, 4, the teams you're trying to track down, if they're not winning, they're at least picking up the loser points in a shootout or overtime. So these points are huge. Regulation wins mean a ton. For the Oilers, they're a veteran team, and I do think that does bode well. I don't think they're going to panic by any means, but I definitely think they got to, take a strong, hard look in the mirror and shore up their defensive game as best possible, insulate their goaltender as best possible. We've seen that in Ottawa. Ottawa has historically low goals save percentage this year. I mean, it's been in the worst save percentage in the last 30 years. It's been generationally bad this year. Yeah. And what they've essentially done is they sort of battened down the hatches. Jake Sanderson's out. There's another star player out for an extended period of time. And, James Reimer was in net last week. They gave up 17 shots. They're giving and very few high danger scoring opportunities. So you really have to insulate your players. Goaltending's been an issue in Edmonton all year. You know what? Regardless of who's in net, you better make sure you guys insulate it and don't be afraid to win a game 2-1. It doesn't have to be a track meet. And especially now without Draisaitl, it behooves you maybe to try and have a track meet against a team like San Jose because you might not win it.
No, the Sharks are an interesting team because when Celebrini's on the ice, his line, they're very dangerous. When the rest of the team's on the ice, not so much. And so I'll be curious to see. I'm going to guess it's going to be a little bit split of McDavid's line versus Celebrini, but also the Dickinson line. And you say, hey, Dickinson's line, we trust them, 3 veterans. They go out against them and then say, Connor, you take on any other line in San Jose, and we think we're confident that we can win that matchup.
Yeah, boy, Celebrini's been good. The undercard to tonight's game as well is just that you have 2 guys who are right there for the heart. And, I heard Elliot Friedman on an earlier radio show today say, if Celebrini gets the Sharks to the playoffs, he probably has my top vote for MVP. And I think a lot of voters might think along those lines. Think about where San Jose was last year, 31st in the NHL. And here they are, now putting together, what might resemble a 93, 94-point season and making the playoffs, which no one really foresaw coming. And Connor McDavid's candidacy, without Leon Draisaitl, is going to pick up. He already is right there, and he could win a 6-start Ross and everything else. But he sometimes get overlooked because I think people take for granted how good he is.
Yeah,
we're just so used to how good he is, and it's really unfair. If it was just who's the best player in the league, if you're just voting on that, Connor McDavid, really since his second or third year should win that award every year. But that's not what this is about. It's often voted on the criteria of, what do you mean to your team? Could they have excelled or made the playoffs without you? Without Celebrini, as you say, the Sharks might be dead last in the league. That's honestly the case. I think he's 45 or 46 points ahead of the next highest scorer on his team. It's insane what he's doing there. So I think that's sort of a nice storyline within the storyline is the whole Celebrini McDavid MVP candidacy showdown tonight, even though really it's about team points. That's another thing to keep an eye on.
Yeah. Looking in the East, we mentioned that Detroit, they had to win that game because now they got the 3 pretty tough games, head to head, that they control their own destiny. But man, there's an organization that has flamed out the last 2 Marches where they've been in a playoff spot and then ended up losing a playoff spot down the stretch. And, they were kind of dangerously there, and then they get a win. Everybody exhales a little bit. But you look at the Habs now, they got 82 points. The Red Wings have 82. The Bruins have 81. The Senators with games in hand have 77. The Blue Jackets have 79. Is there a team you think like Montreal, Pittsburgh, New York, Detroit, Boston, Columbus that has more pressure on them to win? Or is it clearly Detroit?
Well, now that we'll consider Buffalo locked in, right? They're first in their division. Barring them literally losing their last 15 games, they should make the playoffs. So we're not anticipating that. So here's the thing. Everyone talks about Buffalo, 14 years, most ever in NHL history, missing the playoffs. Well, we all know who has the second longest streak of missing the playoffs, the Detroit Red Wings, 9 straight years. Brendan Shanahan, I think, has sort of fended off a lot of criticism over the years because of his track record. Sorry, I said Brendan Shanahan. I meant Steve Yzerman, obviously. Yeah. Steve Yzerman has fended off a lot of criticism over the years because of his track record as a player in Detroit, bringing the cups, et cetera, and being a great executive in Tampa Bay. But his track record in Detroit's been abysmal. And it's important for this team to do something. And you mentioned Draisaitl out, Dylan Larkin's out. And that's been a massive, massive hit for the Detroit Red Wings. So another star player on the shelf right now. I'd say Detroit has the most pressure. No one expected Boston to be there. No one expected the Islanders to sort of be where they are. And Columbus and Ottawa, there's always internal pressure. But as far as from an external standpoint, if Detroit somehow misses the playoffs for a 10th straight year, when they've been sitting in a playoff spot for the last 3.5 months, it would be pretty shocking and pretty devastating for that fan base and certainly an eyesore for Yzerman and the rest of that management staff.
Oh, God, yeah. I wonder, would the Yzer plan be on the hot seat if they don't make the playoffs?
That's a great question. And it seems unfathomable that the Ilitch family and knowing their relationship with Steve Yzerman and everything he's meant to that organization and that city, it seems unfathomable that they would, that would happen. Maybe they move him out of the GM's chair and into some sort of other executive office. It would be, I'm not the person to answer that because I just don't know the inner workings, but man, I would think that would be a wild, wild situation because, Yzerman has been so linked with that franchise and has brought them so much, but certainly the patience with his plan, which has not gone so well thus far, is thin. And this year is, to some degree a make or break. It's always the last 3 years, I feel bad for the Oilers in a sense. It's like Stanley Cup or bust, especially the last 2 years, right? It's just Stanley Cup or bust. Everything else is nice, but it's not what we're trying to do. For the Red Wings, quite simply, it's playoffs or bust. And, the idea that they don't make the postseason, especially, getting caught by these teams, Columbus or Ottawa or whomever from behind would just be a devastating situation there.
Yeah, 100%. Now you mentioned Buffalo, David, it's been an amazing turnaround. And, they were dead last in the Eastern Conference on December 1st and then have just climbed their way up. Now they're 2 points back of Carolina. And I look at the Sabres and, man, them and Tampa Bay had one of the more entertaining games of the year. They play again in a few, I think it's 3 weeks from today, in fact, where they play them again. And, it's just amazing that a team that's missed the playoffs for 14 years and it looked like they were going there again. They've turned it around and, they look like a legit contender right now. Like Tampa Bay would probably be my first choice in the East, but I'd probably have Buffalo second, even though I know that those two teams probably have to meet in the second round.
Yeah, this Buffalo team is just, it's a great story. And we talked about the fan base in Detroit and the pressure there. This fan base has suffered as much as any fan base. You know, between the Bills and the Sabres, it's been just one disappointment, or in the case of the Sabres, it's been one embarrassment after another, really. And they're for real. You know, Jason, I see a lot of them being on the East Coast, and you know, we watch a lot of West Coast games as well, obviously. But the East Coast, you get them right in prime time here, and I hope you know your viewership, listenership out in Edmonton's had a chance to watch them. They're fun, they're exciting, they're dynamic, and they're for real. Only one team has more regulation wins than the Sabres this year, and that's the Colorado Avalanche. They have more regulation wins than the Dallas Stars. I've watched a number of Buffalo games, and they win 4-1 and 5-1, and you're kind of going, wow, they just dominated that team. Like they're a legit team with a lot of skill, but also, as you mentioned, some grit, some toughness. They just beefed up at the trade deadline, which was fun to see, right? Adding Carrick and Shen and Stanley, and they're not afraid of anyone. They're ready to go. And if we do get Tampa and Buffalo in the postseason in the second round, that would be great theater. Sign me up for 7 games of that, because those two teams, they battled so well so far this year. And you know, I think they gave us the game of the year, you know, bar none. Not just the 15 goals, but all the rough stuff and the passion and the purpose that everyone was playing with. It was so much fun to see.
Colorado, Dallas, both actually lose big last night. Kind of odd, but you look at them, and then there's the Minnesota Wild, who have 88 points and seem to maybe be the only team that's really locked into a playoff spot here. We know Carolina is going to finish first in their division, but they could still finish first or second in the conference, so they still have something to play for. Minnesota, not so much at this point, but I look at the Wild, Dave, and I just think if I'm the Colorado Avalanche, I really want to finish first, because I don't think Minnesota is a good matchup for the defense core of Colorado.
Yeah, you know, that's a really fair statement. They're a big, physical, grinding team, and they're going to take a pound of flesh. Whether they get through the first round, whether it's with Dallas or whomever, they're going to take a pound of flesh. It's not going to be easy. Bill Guerin has reinforced that lineup and added some, you know, what he would call the character guys, the grit guys, and, you know, the Foligno brothers together is a nice sentimental story as well. They're going to be a really tough out. And for a lot of people, you know, last I checked, I haven't checked in the last few days, but last I checked was, I think maybe 4 or 5 days ago, they were the second odds-on favorite to win the Stanley Cup. So Colorado was by far the prohibitive favorite at plus 300. They were next in line, ahead of Dallas even, which really surprised me. Listen, it's going to be wild. It also calls, once again, and this happens every year, whether it's the Central Division, the Pacific, or the Atlantic, you know, when are they going to change this playoff format? The idea that, you know, team number 2 and team number 3 in regular season standings are going to play in the first round of the playoffs, it just doesn't seem right. We saw it last year with Colorado and Dallas, you remember, which was an incredible series, the Rantanen hat trick in Game 7. But it should be a conference final, or at least a second round matchup, because there's just such a disparity between the divisions. Specifically this year, we know how the Pacific has struggled so mightily, and doesn't mean that the Oilers or Vegas couldn't make their way to another Stanley Cup final. That wouldn't shock me at all. But it seems unfair that the path for, you know, let's say Dallas has to go through Minnesota, then go through Colorado, then go through Edmonton. That seems like the gauntlet. And, you know, despite finishing with the second best record in the regular season.
Yeah, you know, it's happened really in the history of the game. You can go 1-8 and you're still going to have big matchups. So I always kind of chuckle at them. Like, guess what? Good teams have to beat good teams. Whether you meet in the first round, second round, third round, I don't really care. So to me, I like it. Like, and probably because I grew up, there was 4 divisions. The Adams, the North, right? And that's what I was used to. Yeah. So get Calgary and Edmonton, like Calgary Flame fans, and heck, the Winnipeg Jets could finish top 5 sometimes, and then they would be out in the first round, right? Like it's happened forever.
The Jets got screwed more than any team in the NHL history. They have the 3rd or 4th best record, Dale Howard-Chuck, and all these great players, and they just would look up and be like, oh God, we have Edmonton and Calgary, we're done. And if they get past 1, you know, they weren't getting past 2. So You're right. It's been going on forever. I just popped up the standings right now, and guess what? It would be Dallas versus Edmonton if the playoffs started today. There was a time when that was the perennial, every year, I can set my watch to, I know when spring starts because it's Dallas versus Edmonton. We saw, you remember those, they met up like 4 or 5 times in a row. And then the last 4 years, it's been LA and Edmonton, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, LA and Edmonton 4 years, Edmonton and Dallas, when it was 1 versus 8, met 5 years. So you know what? I've tapped out. I'm like, whatever. People want to argue it. I have no time. I really don't care anymore. Because I'm like, guess what? You're going to go to 1 date and people are going to complain in 3 years about 1 date. It's not going to change. So if you want to win the cup, beat teams that you face. It's that simple.
Yeah,
right?
It's a hard road. It's a hard road regardless, but I know that narrative will rear its head again because we're going to see, 205-point teams or whatever go toe-to-toe in the first round. And that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, well, and you know what? Even when if you have 1 to 8, 3 and 6 and 4 and 5 are usually all 100-point teams anyway, right? That's what everybody forgets. I'm like,
you're right. The way with the 3-point games, you're absolutely right. It's not it. The parity is there, and this is the thing, and this is what makes it so good. I mean, I think you can make a case for 8 teams, maybe 9 teams right now. I could sit here and make a case for them to win the Stanley Cup. Doesn't mean they're going to. Doesn't mean they should. But they can, whether it's Tampa. We talked about the teams in the Central. You can make a case for Carolina. You can make a case for Buffalo. You certainly don't have to make a massive case for the Oilers, right? There's just so many good teams. And that's, I think, what makes the Stanley Cup playoffs, maybe the greatest championship run in any of the big 4 sports, because it's just so unpredictable and there's always hope. And here's the thing. I've made this declaration on our Wednesday show a week ago. If Ottawa makes the playoffs, I am picking Ottawa to come out of the East. I really believe that. I think they'll have the momentum. Yeah, I mean, all that's been missing, Jason, for them this year has been goaltending.
Yeah, that's true.
Getting it of late. And now that they're getting some good goaltending, the Ullmark, his mental health issues seem to be behind him. He's playing with confidence. He looks like the Vezina Ullmark. If they get the Vezina Ullmark, they're going to be an incredibly tough out. And if they get Sanderson back, obviously, it's all incumbent on Sanderson's health. But I will pick them to come out of the East if they make the playoffs.
I like it, Dave. Bold, buddy. I love it. Anybody can sit on the fence. That's not sitting on the fence. I love it. Great stuff. We'll talk to you again soon, my man. Have a great day.
Yeah, enjoy the games tonight, and we'll see you soon. And tomorrow night on Wednesday Night Hockey, we've got a good matchup as well. If you want to see those Senators, we'll have them tomorrow night for you.
Ooh, I like it. Good little tease there. There you go. There's Dave and Amber from a hockey night in Canada. If you actually look at the Sens' underlying numbers, they've been good all year. Like, goaltending has been their weakness, but their goaltending's good all of a sudden. And hey, and once you're in, anyone can win. Anyone. People are going to waste all their time whining about who they have to play in the playoffs. Just beat who you have to play. It's that simple. Beat who you have to play. Well, I'd rather meet in the second round. Why? Still got to beat them. When we come back, we'll talk about playoff matchups and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Whether it's a house, a gas station, an apartment complex, or any new building going up above ground, the work always starts below ground. And that's where you'll find GS Construction. GS Construction ensures the first step, relocating utilities, installing new ones, and building the underground systems, is taken to make progress possible. But the work can't start without you. GS Construction is currently on the lookout for experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators. To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy, because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Do you sit around at work listening to sports radio all day? That's right, my friend. There's no shame in it. It's the good life. And we're not here to snitch. Hey, if your company advertised on Sports 1440, you could be the one listening for your company's ad every day. Now you've got an excuse to listen to Sports 1440 all day. It's part of the job. Sounds like someone's getting a promotion. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca and let's get to work for you.
The Price is Right, live at the Brick. Come on down to any Brick location for your chance to win over $300,000 in prizes. They're giving away shopping sprees, mattresses, appliance packages, big screen TVs, and so much more. Plus, this Saturday, play for up to $1,000 off your purchase. Everyone who makes a purchase is a winner. The price is always right at the Brick. The Brick, saving you more. Some conditions apply. See in store for details.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at CanTorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through. How are you? Lovely Tuesday afternoon. Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. We got a pair of seats for tonight's game. Donated, love it. And right in the lower bowl, orders attack twice. If you want to go to the game, currently a steal of a deal, only at $300. We're helping out the Gregor Foundation, getting some kids into suits. So if you want to go to the game, Macklin Celebrini, Connor McDavid. Hey, maybe you haven't seen Dickinson or Murphy live in person yet. So you can do it. Go to the game. We always try to get to retail value, so let's get that up a little bit. 833-401-1440. Brian currently has it at $300. As we go to our basketball report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. Sell your bill of Legacy at legacyheating.ca. Host of Hoop City, Paul Sir, joins us. Paul, how you doing?
Doing well, doing great. It's Christmas for basketball fans. This is the real time of the year, Jason. So it's almost off and running.
How many brackets you fill out?
So far, I've done 2. I've done one by the book. Now I've done one that's flirting with some insanity. So then I'll do 1 or 2 more. How about you?
You know what? Just one.
Yeah.
And I've thought about, because I normally don't fill mine out till Wednesday anyway, because I don't really care about I know that the games matter, but I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll pick whoever. Like, I know Howard, I think this is their 3rd or 4th time in the tournament. They never won a game. So I would just like to pick them to win tonight just for fun, because they've never won a game before. But I was doing some research on it. And after doing the research, I felt like, you know what? I might have to really look at my picks to think who I think is going to win, because the tournament west of Texas, only 3 teams in 50 years have won the tournament who are located west of Texas. UNLV in 1990, UCLA in 1995, and Arizona in 1997. So I'm like, what's the point of it? I got to make sure I don't pick anybody west of Texas to win it because they never win it. It's been 29 years.
Well, I picked Arizona this year. It might be the first time in almost 30 years that someone does win it that is west of Texas. But that is really I didn't know that, and that's a great stat to look at. So what I always do is I always do 3 or 4 brackets, then I pick the one that I'm going to live and die with after I look through some of the matchup possibilities. But I am going with Arizona this year. I actually have picked Arizona and Houston to be in the championship game. So we might end up with two west of Texas teams actually battling out if it goes according to what I'm saying. But God only knows, my bracket will be destroyed after 15 minutes anyway.
It's very, very true. A few things in the NBA. Where did you come out on Bam's game?
I think I came out with 2, maybe 3 perspectives. Number one, you got to score 83, and he did. Number 2, do I like the way it happened? Not really, but no rules were broken. Intent bent. To have the head of USA Basketball pulling the shenanigans, that is so atypical. I felt like Spoelstra, he must have had a repressed youth, because this was him acting out as a teenager and being something he's never been before. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's going to go into the record books. I don't know. I think what I'm more concerned about is it's a great accomplishment by a guy you never expected from. But what's the trickle-down effect? Is it just going to go away? Hopefully. Or are other players and teams going to try to pull similar stuff? And even more concerning to me than that is what happens in high schools now. Like, what do young kids, AAU, what do kids start doing now, or coaches start doing to get attention on social media? Because that's what always throws everything into the meat grinder is, well, how people are going to respond to social media.
Yeah, see, I was kind of perplexed by so many people that were down on it. He scored 31 points in the first quarter. Like, there's no sideshow there. He had 62 points through 3 quarters, which was more than Kobe had when he got his 81. And Kobe, no one on his team shot the ball in the last 7 minutes. And all these Kobe people are like, yeah, but it's Kobe. I think the fact that it was Bam is what bugs people. Well, no one thinks Bam's better than Kobe. But guess what? He was better for one game, and he had a better first 3 quarters. And once he got to 70, if I'm a coach, how the hell would I not tell this guy to go for it? Like, and I'll say this: I've never seen a team triple defend a guy in the last minute of a game, Paul. So I saw a lot of people say, oh, he didn't deserve it. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because one guy tried to miss a free throw, which, by the way, has happened in basketball many times when you're trailing before. Well, you'll miss. And guess what? They didn't even rebound it. So that play's kind of irrelevant to me. And then they fouled once, I think, when they were up. And I'm like, yeah, so what? It's good strategy. Like, you play this minutes to win the game, and I loved it. I'll just say this, like, I don't think it's repeatable because he was unreal through 3 quarters. And so if any other guy can go out there and be 62 points in the first 3 quarters, then good on you, then chase the record all day. But it's pretty hard to score 31 in a quarter.
It really is, and it's an anomaly, and it's a fun anomaly. Good for Bam, the way I feel. I had just a real quick story. I was speaking on a panel a few months ago, and a friend of mine was a college coach had a kid who scored 79 and set the record for the league. And then there was another coach, very venerable coach in the room, who was also on the panel, who came out and goes, oh my God, that's just the worst thing in the world. I would never allow my player to do that. And we got into quite a row about it over it. It's an anomaly. It's a special moment. It happened. It's got us talking. It's got everyone talking, but no rules were broken. He scored 83. He goes in the record book, and good on Bam.
Looking at the other big record that was broken was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 127 consecutive games with 20 points. And what's wild to me, Paul, is that he's at 127, and no one in his era is even within 50. Like, it is, what he's done to me is highly, highly impressive that no one else in his era, like the closest was Kevin Durant, and he's at 72.
I couldn't agree with you more. The level that SGA is playing at, the way he has perfected his craft is so impressive, and it's exemplified in this. Nobody's even close. Nobody's even in the stratosphere, and you can put this, I think, in the category that Stockton's assist record is in that it's almost untouchable for the foreseeable future, certainly for decades, because, and I think he's just going to continue to add to it unless he's injured, because SGA, the subtlety in his game, the nuances in his game, the way he can beat you now gets more. He can beat you in more ways year after year. He's a better player this year than he was last year as an MVP, and he's been able to sustain this streak, which is, to me, more symbolic than anything of how good he is. It's a great accomplishment, but what is really, to me, the story is how good SGA is and how he just is unstoppable.
Yeah, well, that's like, and I remember you were talking about him before, Paul, and how a lot of people are like, oh, the mid-range jumper, you can't win that way, you can't score that way regularly, and he's just like, I don't think so. He's a highly efficient shooter, and he can shoot threes, of course, but he doesn't rely on it. And I wonder if he is, Jokic is a great, he distributes the ball incredibly well. Like, those two, I look and say, and you talk about a trickle-down effect, like, why wouldn't coaches say, hey, guys, we can shoot mid-range jumpers. And look, we can distribute the ball like Jokic and rebound the ball like Jokic and score, right? Like, we can do everything. We don't just have to be one-on-one players. And I wonder if that potentially changes things at all.
Well, I hope so, number one, but I'll make a rather brash and irreverent statement. Most coaches don't have a clue how to coach that. And that's part of the problem, is that coaches think they're coaching when they have their kids playing pick and roll basketball and either shooting threes or looking for layups. The mid-range shot is a difficult shot, especially if you're off the dribble and attacking and you pull up. That's a skill shot. And I agree with you. SGA is saying, I harp on analytics and the people that develop them all the time anyway, but it gets the guys with the pocket protectors out of the basement and gets the game back on the court. What's wrong with a 60 to 70% shot from 12 feet? There's nothing wrong with that shot. And when you're that efficient, and the way Gilgeous-Alexander has worked on his three, Jason, now he's a very, very competent three-point shooter. That was a weakness in his game. It isn't anymore. Just look at the shot he made against Denver to beat them recently. He's a very good three-point shooter. Now he's even better because he can beat you in every possible way you can score. SGA can score that way, with the exception maybe of still not being a great back-to-the-basket scorer, but he doesn't need to be.
Yeah, you can't be great at everything, I guess.
Right. But he flirts with that.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Now, the Celtics are healthy. How does that change your view of the Eastern Conference?
Well, I think the Celtics are going to be right in the thick of it when it comes down to the conference finals. Like, I would look for them to finish second in the East and it to be probably Detroit and Boston. I look for, I'd say I feel more confident today it will be Boston in the conference finals than I do saying Detroit, because of the way that Orlando is coming on. We all know Orlando is really talented, and they're playing much better, and they're playing well against other good teams. But to me, those are Cleveland as well. Cleveland's taken a little bit of a step back. They had the adrenaline surge after Harden arrived. But you've got four teams there that I think are capable of winning the Eastern Conference. But if I had to pick somebody now, especially seeing how well Tatum is playing, my gosh, it's unbelievable how well he's playing. Like, he's still not back to the form he was when he was the MVP, but he's 80%, 85%, that's a really good basketball player. So I think the Celtics are right in the thick of it to battle for the Eastern Conference Championship.
That's totally fair. What about the West? And, you have the Thunder, and then you have the Spurs, and then the Lakers, and the Rockets, the Nuggets, Timberwolves. The Suns have clinched a playoff spot. They're battling. They probably want to avoid number 7. Then you got the Clippers. Like, we know who the 10 teams are. It's just a matter of who's going to be 8, 9, 10 between the Clippers, the Warriors, and the Blazers. Do you see any of the Suns, Clippers, Warriors, and Blazers as somebody who could win 2 rounds? Or could they only maybe upset and win 1? If not,
I don't see them. I see them all on the golf course real fast.
Okay.
I don't see any of those 3 teams winning a series. They're not that good. Now, when Dylan Brooks gets back, maybe that'll change the Suns' fortune. I mean, he'll make them a lot better, having his best season so far. I still don't think they're deep enough and good enough to win a series in the West if they're playing an upper echelon team. Blazers are, they're not there. And Golden State, Steph Curry comes back. Anytime Steph's on the court, you're better. But they've had such a rough year with injuries and the carousel of players that they've had to put in to try to be relevant. Porzingis is playing pretty well, so it would be kind of fun to see Porzingis and Steph playing together. But I don't see any of the bottom 3 in the West. I think they're, like I said, I think they're going to be golfing early.
Like it. Paul, always good to catch up with you. What's coming up on the show on Saturday?
We got a good one. We have Mike DeCourcy from Sporting News. He's an expert on March Madness, so we'll talk March Madness. I have Lisa Tomaitis from the University of Saskatchewan on. Won the national championship 2nd year in a row for the women Husky team. And then I'll have Ben Golliver back, and we'll dive into the NBA, talk about Spurs, how well the Lakers are playing, how surprisingly well the Lakers are playing, and everything else basketball. Most wonderful time of the year. Can't beat this, Jason.
It is fun, man. So you got Arizona winning. Do you have any upsets? Any upset specials to look forward to in the opening weekend of March Madness?
Well, at the risk of being just my usual Iowa homer self, I will avoid the ones that I picked. But I picked Santa Clara to beat Kentucky. Santa Clara has a good Canadian on, by the way, named Elijah Mahi. He's averaging about 14 for Santa Clara. I think they're possibly, and dark horse, BYU might beat Gonzaga. That's going to be interesting. Gonzaga, 3rd seed, but they have a hard time scoring. And with DeBonsa in BYU, anything's possible on a given night. So a couple of those things. And I think of the top 1s and 2s that I think has the biggest chance of being upset relatively early, it might be UConn, because they're surprisingly inconsistent. So one of the topics of discussion, though, in the next couple of weeks I'm going to talk about is the fading of the upset, though. I just can't see how upsets can be sustained in the NIL world because of the difference in resources for the upper echelon teams being able to pay for the better players. It's going to get harder and harder for the small programs to put a team on the court that can compete at that level.
It's very true. Great. Well said, Paul. Appreciate it, man. We'll be listening on Saturday. Have a good show.
All right. Thanks so much, Jason. Have a great day.
Paul, sir, host of Hoop City, Saturdays, 10 a.m. on Sports 1440. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger with you. Let's take a quick break. When we return, we're going to hear a little bit from the Edmonton Oilers locker room today. Of course, unfortunate news for them due to the injury to Leon Draisaitl. We'll get to TR, Randy Hahn, and more. But first, a Connor Halley Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. Oh, look at the melt is on, baby. You're thinking spring tires. You want to get some new wheels? Stop in right now, fountaintire.com. Order today.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
In case you missed it, the Edmonton Oilers announcing that forward Leon Draisaitl missed the remainder of the regular season after suffering a lower body injury in the first period of the team's win over Nashville. The Oilers are in action tonight, hosting the Sharks. Puck drop 7 pregame here on Sports 1440. It's going at 6. Elsewhere, the Wild are in Chicago. Jets host the Preds. Panthers taking on the Canucks. Sabres meet the Golden Knights, and the Kraken up against the Lightning. In the association tonight, You got the Sixers taking on the Nuggets. Kings host the Spurs. Suns in Minnesota. Knicks and Pacers. Thunder, Magic, and the Hornets hosting the Heat. March Madness first four gets going today. 4:40, Howard taking on UMBC. And then later tonight, you got Texas taking on NC State. In the PWHL, Boston hosting Toronto at 5. And from the NFL, the Miami Dolphins trading wide receiver Jalen Waddle with the Broncos with a fourth round pick for a first, third, and fourth round selection. The Dolphins now have over $175 million in dead money this season. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by former NHLer Terry Ryan, the voice of the Sharks, Randy Hahn, and hear from members of the Oilers. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk. Elevate your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, 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 nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, noodle, nood.
Throw the load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open. Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
Big guests, bigger takes. Jason Gregor brings the names you know and the stories you don't.
From, but
weekdays 2 to 6 on Sports 1440. Don't miss a minute of the action on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Just want to read this one. I like
Junior Hockey League champions, the Spruce Grove Saints, are excited to be back on the ice at the
Jason
brand
Gregor
new
Show.
Thompson Family Arena. Be part of the action and enjoy some of the best junior hockey Canada has to offer by experiencing a Saints game for your next outing. Tickets range from $10 to $17 with free parking and some of the best food and drink specials in town. For more information on tickets and how you can become a partner, go to sgsaints.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top quality Canadian products from Beaulieu with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at customfloorsinc.ca.
I need somebody, not just any.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan for all your residential water needs. Your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles, Culligan.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Making our way through a Tuesday afternoon. It is game day on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having an awesome day. We're up to $325 now on the tickets. Hey, we always like to get to face value, so let's at least get there. It's for charity for the Order game tonight. It's at $325, Steve. So if you want to go, 833-401-1440. It's the Oilers and the Sharks. Lower bowl seats where the Oilers attack twice. Really good seats, actually. So if you want to go and support the Gregor Foundation, we'd love to give you the tickets. So there you go. Pretty easy. Got a little bit of time left, so you can just text in your bid, 833-401-1440. Of course, the Gregor Show, always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. And, of course, tonight, $40 million up for grabs in Lotto Max, and get your tickets there, as well as the Gregor Daily Special boosts that have an orders. And hey, we're rolling on the Matt Savoy train. Want to check that out, Alberta.ca. And maybe some favorites outside of Edmonton in Minnesota and the Sabres. Can't believe the Sabres are an actual underdog tonight on the road. They're red hot. But, I don't mind a good road dog every now and then. Why not? Coming up, Randy Hahn is going to join us, the longtime voice of the San Jose Sharks, who, guess what? They've wanted to be in the playoff mix. They're in the playoff mix. Macklin Celebrini, great stat that we saw on the Sharks' most recent broadcast, that he has set the Sharks record for most road points in a season. He's got 50 in 33 games. He's still got 8 road games left. Joe Thornton had 49 way back when in 2007 with the San Jose Sharks. So that Celebrini kid is not just home cooking. He has got more points on the road right now than he does at home. Pretty impressive. So we'll see who the Oilers are. Are you going to match up Dickinson's line or McDavid, or is it going to be a swap of both? We shall see. We welcome to the show host of his own podcast, former NHLer, also stars on Shoresy, Terry Ryan joined us. TR, how you doing?
I'm not bad. I just got back from Boston yesterday and off to Iqaluit, Nunavut tomorrow. So been busy, but I'm looking forward to it. And I'd never been up there.
Ooh, nice. What I have no idea what the weather is. Is it still super snowy? Like you get to go dog.
Yeah.
So you get to go dog sledding, buddy. Have you ever been? I tell you, I did it in Banff. It's unreal. I would highly recommend it.
We actually have the option to do it. It's myself. There's a lot of players going, but I
do it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, there's a few of us getting there early, and I'm really thinking about it. The weather's nice over here today. It's 12 degrees, but it's still minus 30 up there. That's expected. And, you know, you win in Rome, so I'm going to they got everything set up for us. They got parkas for us. They got boots. They got everything. It's a big dinner one night, and then we're playing a game the next. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you right now, buddy, if you can do it, go. It will be it'll be well worth it. So
I will do it.
Yes.
I shall.
833-401-1440. You can always text us. TR, the Edmonton Oilers, what do you make of Leon Draisaitl and him being out now for the remainder of the regular season? How do you think they do?
Well, there's a lot to unpack with him being out. First of all, the hit, which I didn't think there was much wrong with the hit. I really didn't. I'm not sure the reaction. Again, I was in Boston in the middle of a bender. So I caught the highlights. Patty's Day weekend, by the way. I get in. My flight was delayed. It got in at 9. I went right to the Dropkick Murphys. I didn't even know I had tickets. And I was crowd surfing an hour later. It was quite a wild weekend. But on that same night, Leon Draisaitl got hurt. So I watched the next day. I'm not sure the reaction. I know the Oilers were pesky on the kid. They should have been. I mean, you're one of your best players, one of the best players in the league, gets hurt. But I didn't think there was much. I think I went out of his way to get low and kind of come in and hit him clean. So that part, I think, is just unfortunate. The second part, how do I think the Oilers are going to respond? I don't think. I mean, the Oilers are deep. Draisaitl and McDavid, at times obviously have to carry the brunt, to say the least, about the last few years. But they did get to the final, and you don't do that with a team of players that can't pull it off. I heard read earlier what some of the line matchups might be, or the line combinations. Totally makes sense. He slots out, and guys slot up, and everybody on the team has played, in different roles. They know the task. A lot of the time when this happens, by committee, everybody gets together, and I'm not saying that it's ever a good thing, but I think the Oilers are deep enough. They know, their eyes are on the prize. They know what's up, and not only do you have to get together and play, unified in the absence of one of the best players of his generation, but you also, there's a point, there's part of the team that's doing it for him. Let's do this. Let's go out and do this for Leon. So I don't think it's going to throw much off, man. Maybe if there was 3 or 4 other guys hurt. But the thing is, look at a lot of the best teams in the league during the course of the year, right? There have been significant injuries. They find a way to do it. I'll look at Dallas recently. There's lots of teams that this happens to. So not good, but when I first saw him walking off, I got to be honest, I was thinking, is he done for the year? And then we really have a conversation to have. The Oilers need to, they need to win a lot of games. But they're in a comfortable position. And I think, judging by what I hear, he's going to be fine in the playoffs. So you just start anew.
Yeah, well, here's an opportunity. Players always talk about it. Yeah, it sucks, but I was outlining Dallas had no Rantanen and no Rupe Hintz. They went 14-1. Now, they were there to start it, but they weren't there for the last 8 and 7 games of that one. So, you know what? Look at the Pittsburgh Penguins here. Sidney Crosby hasn't played since the Olympics, and they're still in second place. So,
and they're not as deep as the Oilers,
yes.
Right? Let's call it what it is. So, exactly. There's the Oilers are definitely capable enough to have a very good winning percentage here with the rest of the games that are left. And like you said, it's an opportunity. Look at some of these guys given the little bit of opportunity. I mean, last year we were like, is Savoy an NHLer? Look at him now. I don't know the reaction to that out there either. But I look at him playing with McDavid, and I think it's a decent fit. And I think it's not easy always, as easy as people think. You don't just put your stick on the ice to play with the best player in the world or one of them. You don't just go out there and do that. You got to know how to give him the puck. You got to know when to give him the puck. It's not just Mitch Marner passes from one side of the ice to the other. A lot of times it's in tight. It's just breaking out of the zone here. Give it to McDavid as soon as I can. It doesn't look great, right? It doesn't look like you're doing anything but a lot of people would hold on to it, or they bank it off the wall or whatever it would be. But Savoy, I find, is making those plays, and that's only because of opportunity. Right? Someone had to put them there, and then you get there and here. What are you going to do with it? All kinds of players have come through. Not everybody's been successful. Now, I know it's early in the trial here, but I think he's doing all right. I look at him playing, and a lot better than I probably would have thought a little while ago. So things like that. And, who's up tonight on the third line that will be on the fourth? Szymanski? Someone like that?
Yeah.
So, there, everybody. And for him, it's relative opportunity, right? Probably he's not going to get up with McDavid, but now you get a chance to play a few more minutes. And on down the line. So I think it's not a great situation, but certainly one that's not totally uncomfortable.
No. Obviously, Connor McDavid, it'd be hard to elevate his game more, but something tells me he could if he really wanted to. He had his 149th 3-point game the other day, 149 of them. We'll get to that a little bit later on in the show. TR, though, in the Eastern Conference, your Montreal Canadiens, they're right in the thick of it, man, and it is a race. They're sitting there in third place. They're only 2 back of Tampa, but they're tied with Detroit. They're only 1 up on Boston, and the Columbus Blue Jackets are only 3 points back of them. Like, it's crazy, man. You can look like, hey, I could be in second place tomorrow. Oh, my God, I could be in the second wild card spot tomorrow.
Yeah, these are all, it's wild. It's been like this for like 5 months. At some point, I thought there would be more separation from the pack by 1 or 2 teams, maybe, of the ones you just mentioned. But they're right there, man. These are all playoff games. Now, what I pointed out here, we were in Boston. We did a podcast down there, Chirpin' Zebras, which is very, it's a hockey podcast. And they were talking about the same thing. But, like, for me, I'm loving this if I'm the Canadiens brass or even if I'm the players. Like, I'm getting a chance to play meaningful playoff games. It's a lot different to get called up to Toronto right now and be Michael Pezzetta and, play your – and I love what he did and mix it up. In fact, I'm wondering why him and a few more probably weren't called up earlier in the year. to a team that seems to be flat a lot of the time. But it's a lot different. Of course, you want to get called up and get a chance to shine, right? Or you want to play if you're getting a little bit more ice time. But with the teams you just mentioned, my focus on the Habs, because obviously being alumni, Alex Newhook's playing there, good Newfoundlander. And, I watch a lot of their games and I go to a lot of their games. So I just think now you're getting experience. It's what you look at Hockey DB and you see games played. But, some games played are more important than others when it comes to building experience and resume and all that. And to play these games right now in the Eastern Conference are basically playoff games. So I'm looking at that as a major positive for all my younger players that might not have that kind of experience.
Take a quick break. We'll return. Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan with you, Sports 1440. Randy Hahn joins us next. Talk a little San Jose Sharks on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
At GS Construction, every winter plan becomes a spring project. Every repaired line and every improved system is how we build the next chapter of Edmonton's infrastructure. And we can't do that without the best and the brightest in the field. That's why right now, GS Construction is looking to hire experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators who can step in and hit the ground running. With a people-first mentality, career growth, and comprehensive benefits, why would you want to work anywhere else? To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
Oil Kings Hockey takes to the ice at Rogers Place for the final regular season game this Sunday.
It's the Team Awards game. See who scores the hardware pregame for Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, MVP, and more.
With all the family fun Sunday face painting, bouncy castles, and Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less.
Plus a post-game autograph session.
Edmonton Oil Kings, Calgary Hitmen. Team Awards game, 4 p.m. Sunday.
The final home game this season at Rogers Place before playoff action kicks off, starting at $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59,900. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in technology, techniques, skills, and people that know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
326, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Hanley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Brian is up to 375 now on the tickets for tonight. Oilers and the San Jose Sharks. Should be an entertaining game, man. The Sharks they can score. They'll give up some goals, but they can run and gun with the best of them. And obviously, Macklin Celebrini is worth the price of admission. He's that special. He has been on an unreal run. He's gonna get to 100 points here very quickly, and heck, might get up to 120, which is wild to think. As we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's, and the NHL Star Sticks are back. Where you can get one of 7 mini sticks with every Star Sticks meals. Collect all your favorite players, including Connor McDavid, for a limited time only at McDonald's. As we are joined by the longtime voice of the San Jose Sharks, Randy Hahn joins us. Randy, my man, how you doing?
I'm good. Can you hook me up with about 19,000 of those Celebrini Star Sticks, because they're not available in San Jose, and that's about how many requests I've had to bring them back for me. My waistline can't afford that many burgers, so
that's true.
I'm sure you've got a guy.
Yeah, well, we do have a guy at McDonald's, but I don't know about 19,000. That might be tough. It is interesting, Randy, how. And I love it because, like, I get really annoyed when people want to put on labels on kids coming out of junior, like, oh, generational player, and Connor Bedard. And I thought it was very unfair to him at all. No one ever said anything about celebrating. They're like, oh, he's a good player. You know, we think he's going to be a good player. And here we are 2 years into his career, and everyone's like, oh, my God, like, this guy's a legit player. You've seen some pretty good players in San Jose, some Hall of Famers, but none of them at this young of a level or young age at the level that he's at. Like, it's amazing to see what he does all over the ice for the Sharks.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, we had Patrick Marleau from day one. He made the NHL at 18 years old. A different generation of player, when it wasn't all about skill for so many of these young players coming up through junior and college, and skill coaches and so on and so on. I mean, Patrick could fly. He was a fantastic player, drafted second overall, ironically, by Joe Thornton, who we ended up getting later on as well, 8 years into his career. But no, you're right. We've never had somebody this good, this early, from the very start of their career. And I've never seen anything like it. And that's what's made it so exciting back in San Jose and in the Bay Area for Sharks fans, because they've never seen this from the very start either. And it's been absolutely phenomenal and a treat to watch, and especially the way it somehow elevated so exponentially for Macklin from the end of last year, which was April, to the start of this year, which was September, which doesn't sound like a whole lot of time for somebody to get incredibly better. But he did. And I think him going to the World Championships last year, playing on Sidney Crosby's line, playing with Nathan McKinnon, being kind of mentored by those two. They put his shoulders around him. They kind of put their shoulders around Will Smith, Macklin's running mate in San Jose. They invited him to their secret special summer training in Halifax. Those two got to hang with those two guys. And I think that went a long way for Macklin, just all of a sudden to come shooting out of the gate in year two and, you know, running roughshod over the league to some extent.
You mentioned, like, the Shark Tank for years, Randy, was like an intimidating place to go for visit, like a really good team. The crowd was really into it. And the Sharks for basically 20 years were one of the best, if not, you know, I know they didn't win a cup, but when you look at all the wins and everything else, like, they were one of the best teams in the NHL. You can't debate that. Obviously, the last few years haven't been great. And I think that, you know, the Sharks are probably a little ahead of where they thought they'd be on the shoulders of Celebrini. But how do you think it's kind of reinfused the excitement of San Jose fans? Like, I know it's only, but one player can do that. And I know there's Will Smith and Misa, and they got lots of other guys, but it's almost like Celebrini has just single-handedly carried this team back to levels. And I would assume got a lot of fans maybe back into the Shark Tank that probably weren't going to be there this year.
Absolutely. The last 6 years, it's been tough, especially those midweek games. You know, our measuring stick is always that Tuesday night against a team from the other conference. Let's pick Columbus, for example. They don't have an overt superstar that you can sell tickets on. And that's always the tough ticket. You know, it has been for the last 6 years. And there were crickets some night. I'm talking about, you know, 7, 8,000 actual people in the building for some of those games, and it was really tough. Those games are selling out now. The weekend games were impossible to get a ticket for, and that's certainly to a large extent thanks to Macklin starting last year when it started to build. And then I think the Sharks going out and making the bold move to get who they hope will be their franchise goalie, Yaroslav Askarov, and giving up a lot of assets to get him. Obviously a key piece for any team. If you're going to build down the middle, you got to have the center, you got to have the goalie, and they're still trying to find the defense to go along with those pieces. And Askarov is still trying to find his number one starter game, and he's hurt right now, but he hasn't had a consistent year. But back to Macklin, it's absolutely amazing to go through the Shark Tank right now on a game night. Before the games, downtown is buzzing like it used to be. And the number of fans down at the glass for warm-up, it used to not be a thing. Now it is the thing. I almost think they could, and I hope no NHL team thinks of this, but they could almost sell a second ticket to stand along the glass for warm-up to watch Macklin and Will Smith and the guys do their thing and throw pucks to the fans. And it's absolutely fantastic. And for me, and I've been there since year one, this is year 35, to see the young fans, the kids, the teenagers, people in a non-traditional hockey market. And I know 35 years sounds like a long time, but you're trying to convert Giants fans, 49ers fans, Steph Curry Warriors fans into hockey fans. That's tough. It's tough to go up against those long-standing traditional American sports franchises in the Bay Area and carve out your own niche. And the Sharks are still going about that. But now you've got a bona fide star in the league, and these kids are coming to games who I'm sure maybe even 2 years ago didn't know a thing about the sport of hockey or the Sharks, and all of a sudden they are turning into die-hard, dyed to the wool and teal Sharks fans, and it's absolutely phenomenal to see. We have not seen it before. It is a phenomena going on right now in San Jose, no question about it, and that's thanks to Macklin.
Celebrini is obviously the key guy, but kind of quietly, Randy, the last month and a half, Michael Misa's game has really started to pick up for the Sharks.
Yeah, and it was a slower burn, and I think that was a little bit expected. He couldn't, nail down a spot in the lineup on a regular basis coming out of training camp, and which 18-year-old does. Macklin, again, is the exception, or a Connor when he came into the league, and a handful of others. They had him in and out of the lineup. We weren't sure, was he going to get past that 9-game threshold, go back to junior? That seemed less likely, and more likely was that they would slow play him, get him to World Juniors, then coming out of that, we would see what was going to happen. Well, he got hurt, and that kind of interrupted things in his development, and got healthy just ahead of the World Juniors. And as we all know, Canada didn't have a super World Junior tournament, and I guess Michael Misa was among that group. Nobody really stood out in that tournament. Michael didn't. But when he came back, they made the decision he wasn't going to go back to junior because he hadn't crossed that threshold yet. So they started to get him into the lineup a little more. He got more and more comfortable. And now you could almost say every week Misa's getting a little bit better. He understands the league. He understands the grind. He knows he can make plays at this level. He scored an overtime goal a couple of games ago, 9th different Shark, by the way, to score a goal in overtime this year. And gradually the confidence is there. And you can see why he was the number 2 pick overall after Matthew Schaefer. And boy, if it continues to go this way and he works out to be a solid number 2C behind Macklin Celebrini, well, you've just solved a lot of your problems going forward, as Oiler fans know here with Connor and Leon.
Randy Hahn joins us talking Sharks and Oilers. You look at the Sharks, Randy, and they kind of remind me of the Oilers 5 years ago, 6 years ago, where they played high event hockey and struggled at times in the low event games because it's hard to play consistent defense. That's really what gets you to be a playoff team. You look at the Sharks. Are you seeing improvements there, or is that still an area where the Sharks, just because of their youthfulness and maybe the lack of overall skill on their blue line, that's just not the area where they excel in just yet?
Well, Yes, but you still see improvement. It's small sample size. This road trip, for an example, the 2 games they won in Boston, where they never win,
Yeah.
and in Montreal, where they actually do win. I think it was their 5th win in the last 6 trips to Montreal for whatever reason. They gave up a combined 4 goals. In the losses on this road trip at Buffalo, another place where they never win, and then the other day in Ottawa, a combined 13 goals against. So it's a work in progress. I have to give Alex Nedeljkovic credit. He was in goal for both wins. Askarov was in goal for the loss in Buffalo, then he got hurt, and Brossoit was in goal in Ottawa the other day, and that was his first NHL game in 2 years. So, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt there, coming off the hip surgery and all the things that Brossoit's got to get himself back to even being in the AHL, let alone playing in an NHL game. They're working at it. Sam Dickinson, another first-round pick, defenseman of the year in the CHL last year. Another guy who's been a little bit, they've slow played him and got him up to now where he's playing regular, top 6 minutes. He's in every night. It's a foregone conclusion. Number 6 is in the lineup. So that has helped. They've tried to work with the forwards to not play as high event hockey and not take the chances and not try to make that big play in a situation where they don't have to. But that hasn't always worked. And I mean, it's in their DNA. You don't want to take that out of these guys like Will Smith or William Eklund or Macklin. Hey, don't try and make the big play. That's why they're here, because they do that. So that is a work in progress. They do have to improve on the blue line. They have some players coming. There's not one guy that sticks out at the American League level right now that is ready to jump in next year and be a top six on the blue line. They got Luca Cagnoni there. He's undersized. He can move the puck. They've got Eric Polkamp, who's the number 1 scoring defenseman at NCAA at DU right now in Colorado. He could be an answer going forward. It's certainly something, though, they're looking to improve within by coaching up the players they have. They've got decisions to make. They've got a bunch of free agents at the end of the season on defense, but we'll see how that goes. But yes, definitely a work in progress.
For tonight's, when you look at it, I know they're on the road. They don't get to pick all their matchups, but who do you think they would play against McDavid's line tonight?
Well, I mean, coming out of the Olympics, it was Connor against Macklin in San Jose, and the Sharks won that game. So that's what I see. I mean, best on best. Macklin thrives on opportunities like that. I mean, this kid is so special. And of course, we all watched the Olympics together and marveled how this kid just seamlessly fit in playing with the best player in the world, Connor McDavid. And by all accounts, Connor asked to play with him, which speaks volumes as to the regard that Connor and the players of his ilk, like Nathan McKinnon, have in Macklin Celebrini. And Macklin's still, and the Olympics are in the rearview mirror now. Maybe more for him than the rest of us, but he's still bothered. He blames himself for losing the gold medal game, and yeah, he had some great looks. And Connor Hellebuyck stopped him when he had those good looks. But, I think it's a bit of a reach to say that Canada lost the gold medal game because Macklin Celebrini didn't play well enough. But that's how he's wired. And he uses those defeats, like when he lost in the semifinals, in the Final Four in the college hockey tournament in his 1 year at BU. I mean, he used that. I didn't get to the championship game. I didn't win it. He uses that as fuel. And I really believe that the fuel he got out of losing the gold medal game is what he is using now to propel the Sharks into the playoffs if he can do that. And I think that he would want to do that going straight up against Connor.
Well, Randy, should be a hell of a game tonight. Looking forward to it. Two of the top scorers in the NHL going head-to-head. Should be loads of fun and a very meaningful game. Sharks win. They stay, put themselves in a playoff spot, move within 3 of the orders, and the orders obviously looking to try to win and maybe put some ground of 6 or 7 points, depending on regulation win or not, over the Sharks. So the Sharks wanted to be in meaningful games late in the season, and here they are. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. I wanted to do meaningful broadcasts.
Yeah, well, it is easier to be a broadcaster when the games matter. I can tell you that. You know it firsthand.
Oh, yeah.
You've lived both sides of it. Yes, very much so.
Oilers broadcast went through the dark era here in Edmonton, and we are hopefully through it and done with it.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Randy. We'll see you at the rink. Appreciate your time.
Anytime, Jason.
There you go. That is Randy Hahn, longtime voice of the show. Really great. You know what? If you ever like to dabble and listen to other broadcasts, Randy's great, man. He's a really good call. So I'd recommend checking out. Obviously, listen to him for many years when Noah was in San Jose. 3:40. We'll get to the oil report. We're going to hear from the coach, the Oilers. We'll update you on the injury that most of you, I'm sure, are well aware of. And we got about 50 minutes left in our auction time today. We'll end at 4 o'clock to give you lots of time to get to the game. If you want to go to the game tonight, right now it's at $375. Pair of seats for tonight's game, 833-401-1440. You can text in with your bid and your name. On the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Craving your favorite mouth-watering pizzas? Papa John's has large specialty pizzas for only $19.99 for a limited time. Get a flavorful all the meats, the works, ultimate pepperoni, Hawaiian, barbecue chicken, and more on original thin or New York style crust. Use the code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit, no credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
It's the iconic Jasper Ave Patty Party. That's on the rocks.
We're turning Jasper Avenue green.
Your 5-day St. Patty's Day party kicks off Friday at OTR.
With live entertainment every day.
Including the Feelin' Lucky burlesque show on Sunday.
Plus pipers, Irish dancers, and doors open at 9 a.m. on the 17th.
We got more green beer than Marco has fancy shirts. And trust me, that's a lot.
Lucky the Leprechaun will be there.
Will you?
It's the iconic Jasper Ave Patty Party. That's on the rocks. Next round's on me. Woohoo!
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Mr. Reuter kinda speaks French. Je m'appelle Monsieur Reuter. Je suis plombier.
Très bien, Mr. Reuter. Your name is Mr. Reuter, and you are in fact a plombier, a plumber. You are an excellent student.
Au contraire, mon frère, je suis un excellent étudiant. Also, I'm not here for a French lesson. I'm here because someone clogged up the toilets.
Ah, oui, right this way.
For a plumber who speaks your language, call Mr. Reuter.
Some people wear Italian boots and act like they're millionaires, with the crease in their pants as sharp as a lance and cologne put behind their ears.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL. Get your power play amped up with UL, supplying the City of Champions in Alberta with quality electrical gear since 1975. UL.ca is your partner in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Oh, how many of you are singing that song tonight? Oh, St. Paddy's Day. Woo! Lots of fun times. I'm not a big green beer guy, but those of you are, knock your socks off. Never offended me if someone else drank green beer. Not at all. Have some fun. It it puts people in a smiling. I always found that St. Paddy's Day, everybody was smiling, have a good time. Just a good reason for some people to go out and celebrate. I'm sure. Is there a line? Someone text me. Is there a line right now at the Druid? Probably. Maybe at O'Byrne's. I would think so. Like how early did the line start? Noon? And I remember going to O'Byrne's a few times. Oh, geez. Get there at 11 a.m. and noon just to get in. It's wild. And thankfully got to know the Hawks, so I didn't have to. So slide in the back door. It's nice. Good times. Good times. Oof, a lot of good times back then, man. So for those of you that are going to celebrate St. Paddy's Day tonight, have fun. Be smart. Be careful. Get home safe. Pace yourself. Mix in a water. Mix in a water with that Guinness for sure. Let's get to the oil report brought to you by GoAuto.ca. If you're looking for cars, trucks, SUV, vans, they got it all. Over 15,000 vehicles to choose from. Your color, your style, they'll have it. 71 locations. Check it out. GoAuto.ca. So, Chris Knobloch. Now, when he spoke, they hadn't announced yet about Leon Draisaitl. Kind of odd timing. Let's not kid ourselves here. I think they knew before the coach speaks, but whatever. Regardless, Nugent Hopkins is the plan to keep him at wing on the Dickinson line. Obviously, with Draisaitl out, there may be a chance that he plays center again. We'll see. But Knobloch on Nugent Hopkins' versatility and where he thinks he's going to play.
Right now, we're going to keep Ryan on the left side with Dickinson. We'll definitely need centers to work in and out. Nuge is definitely an opportunity or a guy that can do that. But we feel Szymanski can play some center. He's been doing a great job of that. His role will get a little bit bigger right now. And we have a lot of options, but right now we'll keep our centermen as McDavid, Dickinson, Szymanski, and Henry.
So there you go. And, we'll see how it goes. But knock, knock. Opportunities there for some players to step up. Obviously, with Leon Draisaitl out of the lineup, that's 20 more minutes that's available for some people to have happen. What about the contributions from younger guys like a Savoy and just kind of how they've developed on this season and starting in the case of Savoy taking on bigger roles?
Absolutely. Have a rookie to play on the top line. He's, playing power play time, penalty kill time. Now he's playing with McDavid. Savoy's progress this season has been great. We've had contributions from him all season, so we're very happy with him. We've got Szymanski coming up, playing 11 games now, and he's, for how young he is and how little NHL experience he has, we feel that he's a good player. A good defensive player who we've entrusted to take over some penalty kill responsibilities and, play as our third line centerman right now.
Szymanski, another guy that a really good defense. If you're watching the game tonight, just watch his decision making and how often he's in the right position, especially in the defensive zone. Now the Sharks, they will attack. The Sharks can score. Now, they give up a lot of goals, similar to the Edmonton Oilers. But the Sharks are also a team that you can't, like, if you want to play run and gun, there's going to be some concerns there with them. Now, they're not as offensive as the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, the Oilers are the second highest scoring team in the league, right? The Sharks aren't there. The Sharks have given up the second most. They try to score. They don't score that much, but the truth of the matter is the Sharks will give you good scoring opportunities at some point. That's just their style. They're a young, inexperienced team in a lot of cases. Their defense score isn't great. So do you have to play a patient game or, what's the challenges of playing this Sharks team?
They are very a very young team, a lot of energy. Obviously, Celebrini is the focal point of their team. How he is going is pretty much how their team is going, and for us, it's important that we check him well and not give him too many opportunities. But they've got a lot of good players on that team, so I think one thing they don't probably get enough recognition for is they do have some young skill, some fast players, but they're a good forechecking team. They score a lot of goals off the forecheck, so it's important for us to break out the puck smoothly tonight.
I look at Edmonton, and I still, even without Leon Draisaitl, I feel without much hesitation that this is a game that you should win. And I think the way Edmonton has played lately, I know that everybody's thinking Dallas, but they played 6 other really good games before and after that, where defensively they've been pretty good. So I think Edmonton is starting to figure it out. I've always kind of thought that there would be a switch, and it looks like the switch has been slowly, if it was on a dimmer switch, it's slowly, the light is coming brighter and brighter when it comes to how they play defensively. And what about Dickinson? Is he going to see Dickinson against Celebrini or McDavid? How does he view Dickinson tonight against Celebrini?
He can definitely handle that responsibility. And I think it would be probably a job for probably 2 of our lines to play up against Celebrini tonight. And now missing Draisaitl, we'll probably get into more of a matchup situations more often than we had in the past.
Interesting there from Knobloch. You didn't have to worry about it. So is it Dickinson and McDavid? Does he? I wouldn't be shocked, Connor, if it was Dickinson's line, but also Szymanski's line with Podkolzin and Kapanen out there. I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, McDavid can do it. But I think if you're on home ice and you look and say, hey, if we think Celebrini's line, not that you're ever going to take McDavid away from him, but you put McDavid against the other 3 lines in San Jose, and that's a massive mismatch. So I'll be curious to see, is it McDavid's line and Dickinson against Celebrini, or is it Dickinson and Szymanski? I know the coaching staff is very high in Szymanski. So that would be something. I think it might be, if Celebrini's going to play 13 or 14 minutes, let's say 13 minutes 5-on-5, is it 8.5 and 4.5 kind of split? I could see that. I could see Szymanski getting a few shifts tonight against Celebrini. What about you?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. And I think, you watch Podkolzin and Kapanen, I think they get it, right? If this guy's out there on the ice, he's very skilled. What do? You stay on him and you hit him when you can. Make sure nothing is easy. There's no easy, pass to the net, anything like that. And I would not be opposed to it, though. Just based on what we've seen as of late from Podkolzin and Kapanen, they've been really good to me. So, I mean, I like Dickinson as the guy, but if he's on the bench and you need him to get a blow and someone else has to go out there, I don't think it'd worry me as much to have those 3.
Yeah. I said I like Dickinson from the get-go, and I've liked him even more the more I watch him play. So it's good. What about the Oilers' urgency? It looks from the outside that they've cranked it up a little bit. Their back pressure is way better. Has the coach noticed it as an urgency thing or attention to detail thing?
Since the road trip, I thought it was a pretty good road trip. And besides the game in Dallas, those games were pretty good. And, we came out with 2 big wins to start it. The St. Louis game, we felt that could have went more in our favor. But that's the way hockey goes sometimes. But I do like the way our guys are going. We're treading in the right direction. We got to continue doing that. Our defensive details have been much, much better. And it's continuing to have to get better with missing a player like Leon.
Big loss, no question, with Draisaitl. But with loss comes opportunity. And that opportunity will be Draisaitl's power play spot. We know we saw Podkolzin there. How often are we going to see Podkolzin? Are we going to see a rotation of guys maybe?
We're going to play around. We're going to play around with it. I think the importance of winning that face-off is part of it. But having the best 5 guys and who's going to work together. I think that we have a lot of good power play guys that can play it, but it's just who's going to work well and move and read the play as well, to know what McDavid's doing, and Bouchard and Hyman at the net. So it's, I think, and obviously we haven't had much time to work on it. Going forward, we'll have some morning skates that we can do that. But right now, I think it's just trial and error right now.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? Like we saw Podkolzin last game, and he did have one really good chance. I did notice, though, he was very stationary, and he obviously doesn't have the passing ability of Draisaitl, right? Like, it's not a knock. There's no one that's going to fill in there and say, oh, look, they can backhand pass like Draisaitl, right? Like, it's impossible. They don't have anybody on the team there. You already have McDavid on the ice, so he doesn't count, right? You can't put McDavid in Draisaitl's spot. He's already on the ice. So it's going to be someone else. But it was interesting there. The key is finding 5 guys who will work together, move and read the play, and know what McDavid and Bouchard are doing. But also the importance of winning the faceoff is part of it, because Draisaitl's our faceoff guy. So now, does that mean, I would wonder if on the rights, if it's now the order's obviously on the opening faceoff, they get to pick which side. So Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, or to use a Roslovic or Savoy because they're a right shot on the other side. That, to me, is going to be the interesting part to watch for tonight. It was Nugent Hopkins last game, but that was, you know what? They had no practice now. They hadn't had a lot of practice, but make no mistake, the Oilers knew yesterday if Draisaitl was going to be out. It wasn't like it was a shock today. Oh, my God, we don't know Draisaitl, right? Like they knew this yesterday. Make no mistake about it. But so that's something to watch for. You know, Matt Savoy offers some creativity, some speed, really good puck retriever. He's a right shot. So if he comes on, you could then just move Nugent Hopkins over to Draisaitl's spot. Now, you don't have a one-timer threat. Nugent isn't really a one-timer threat, but he's a really good passer, and he's a playmaker from that side. So I could see them, switching different things. Maybe it's Roslovic on the right side instead of Savoy, because Savoy's not even on the second unit power play, so probably won't be him to start. But I'm kind of fascinated to see what they do, and it's going to come down to who has success, because the power play has been for their standards, a little bit of a funk as of late. Let's get to the top of the hour coming up. Next hour, we will have Jason Strudwick will join us. So we'll get to, we got some stats of the day, baby, that I think you are, you're going to like. If you were a stats person, you are definitely going to like them. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace, or start to dream. Start thinking about that AC just keeping you cool at legacyheating.ca.
The Sports 1440 update.
In case you missed it, the Edmonton Oilers announcing that Leon Draisaitl will miss the remainder of the regular season after suffering a lower body injury in the first period of the team's win over Nashville. The Oilers in action tonight, hosting the Sharks. Puck drop at 7. Pre-game 6 o'clock right here on Sports 1440 with Andrew Walker. Elsewhere, you got the Leafs and the Islanders, Bruins in Montreal, Jackets taking on the Canes, Wild in Chicago, Jets will host the Preds, Panthers taking on the Canucks, Sabres meet the Golden Knights, and the Lightning in Seattle. In the association, Heat traveling to Charlotte, Magic host the Thunder, Pacers up against the Knicks, Timberwolves host the Suns, Nuggets take on the Sixers, and the Spurs head to Sacramento. In March Madness, first 4 action getting going in 40 minutes. Howard taking on UMBC. And then at 7:15, it's Texas up against the NC State Wolfpack. In the PWHL, Boston hosting Toronto just after 5. And from the NFL, the Dolphins trading wideout Jalen Waddle to Denver with the 4th round pick for a 1st, 3rd, and 4th. Miami Dolphins now have $175 million in dead money for the upcoming season. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason and Gregor Show, we'll hear the stat of the day, ask 5 questions, and be joined by former NHLer Jason Strudwick. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. Ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, Makar, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
Start your day with a blast of sports. Kevin Carrius, along with Brandon Douglas, brings the fire, the fun, and the fearless takes. Weekdays, 7 to 11. Text Kevin, 883-401-1440. Mornings with Sports 1440.
Scott McGilvery here, ATV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's AquaCentral reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Running a business is tough. Finding new customers shouldn't be. Stop chasing leads. Let them come to you with Stingray, offering you access to more digital, outdoor, and traditional advertising platforms, including radio, connected TV, search and social, programmatic, digital advertising, and digital out-of-home. So while you're closing the next deal, Stingray is working for you to deliver more leads, more customers, more sales. It's that easy. Get started now at stingraymediasolutions.com and always be closing.
What's some non-Nissan drivers here?
Soul-crushing flurries today with the low of making you cry.
What Nissan drivers here?
It's looking absolutely perfect out there.
Don't fear the forecast. Get an all-wheel drive Nissan Rogue and get up to $4,500 cash purchase bonus on select new 2026 Rogue models. Built, tested, and trusted to conquer Canada's harsh winters. Visit your local Nissan dealer today or nissan.ca for details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. For a limited time, get your favorite large specialty pizza from Papa John's for only $19.99. Use code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock, a lovely Tuesday afternoon. It is game day, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Hope you're having an awesome Tuesday and a happy St. Patrick's Day for all who celebrate. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where tonight, $40 million up for grabs. You can get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca. Also, while you're there, check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost, some more interaction, Matt Savoy on the Matt Savoy train, and a little Sabres action. Sabres underdog on the road. Oh, take that. Yes, please. So check it out. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Congratulations to Brian. He was the winner of the tickets, highest bid. He's going to go to the game tonight. Thank you very much, Brian. Very much appreciate that. Now, let's get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction. Well, what do? They do neighborhood renewal projects. They install new street lighting systems, as well as underground utilities, power, gas, telecommunications, and more. All been doing it since 2009. All Star Construction. So a few stats for you today. Last game, Connor McDavid had his 149th three-point game of his career. Not bad, right? Not bad at all. That is 15th all time in NHL history for most 3-point games. I'm pretty sure you can all guess who sits atop of the leaderboard in Mr. Gretzky. Now he's 15th there, but if you dig a little deeper, Connor McDavid already has 46 4-point games. He's one back of Yari Curry. That hasn't tied for 11, so his next one will put him in the top 10 already. It's already got more than Sidney Crosby, for goodness sakes. In 5-point games, he has 13 of them, and he is 3 back of being in 5th place. So you just look at McDavid, and obviously he's going to keep climbing the standings. I've said this now for 2 years, and I'll keep repeating it. McDavid he's only 4 points shy of 1,200. He's going to finish this season in the top 50 scorers of all time. And then next year, he'll be in the top 40. And it's obviously just going to be a quick ascension after that. But you always got to be reminded sometimes of the McDavid magic and just how productive he has been. Last night in the NHL, Brent freaking Burns. So earlier he passed Keith Yandel for second place on the all-time Ironman streak. He's at now 991 games. But last night he scored his 271st NHL goal, which moved him past Bobby Orr. And now he's 7th all-time in goals with 271. Larry Murphy is 6th with 288. And, even if Burns, like if he plays one more year, that would be a stretch to get. I don't think he's going to get into the 300s for sure. So he'll probably end up 6th or 7th. Still pretty damn good. Erik Karlsson, by the way, if you're wondering about goals, he's 22nd with 207. And he's going to pass Larry Robinson, 208, Zdeno Chara, 209 very soon. And then he will be in the top 20. To get to the top 10, he would need 41 goals. 247 currently is where Brian Leetch sits. And Leetch is currently in 11th place. Speaking of stats, man, injuries, we've talked about this lots, Connor. Availability is long time the best ability. And there is a player who, when he's available, is really, really good. Like MVP-like good. But he can't stay healthy. So in 10 seasons, this player has now played as many regular season games as he's missed. Yeah, that's right. He's played 485 regular season games, and he's missed 485 regular season games. Connor Halley, do you know who it is?
No, I'm very intrigued, though. He got my attention.
Joel Embiid.
Yo.
But that's quite the stat, man. It sucks for him, but and it's really, the more you look at big men like Greg Oden and a lot of these other guys, like the fact that Shaquille O'Neal at his size was able to stay healthy, right? Not have like fractures in his bones or in his feet, because a lot of those big guys, it's like just the pounding breaks down their body. And we've seen it from a lot of them. So, and he's a big dude, but Shaquille O'Neal, we probably overlooked just how durable he was, not to mention great. But Joel Embiid, he will go down as a guy who just injuries clearly limited him. No question. Another number. How about the biggest contract ever in women's professional sport? The San Diego Wave landed Katrina Maciero. She's, of course, the Chelsea star and a star for the women's the U.S. women's soccer team. The NWSL also paid a $300,000 transfer fee to get her release from the Blues. So that's a big step for women's soccer. Now, here's my favorite one, Connor Halley. This guy, like when we talk about suitcases, and I mean that in a complimentary way, because if you're a suitcase in pro sports, it means someone wants you because you're just going from team to team to team. How about your 23rd stop in an NFL franchise? 23. It started in 2008. I'm going to run through the teams and the years, and then I'll tell you the player, and we'll see if you can figure it out. Bucks, 2008 to 2011. 49ers, 2012. Same with the Browns, 2012. Then the Bengals in 2013. The 49ers in 2014. The Bengals, the Jets, and the Colts, 2015. Bills, Ravens, Giants, 2016. Texans, 2017. Raiders, 2018, as well as the Redskins. 2019 was the Lions. Then the 49ers in 2020. The Jets and Ravens in 2021. The Broncos in 2022. 49ers in 2022. Then 2 years with the team, the Ravens in 23 and 24. Then the Commanders in 25. And now the Cincinnati Bengals in 2026. 23rd stop. Connor, you must know who this is.
Knew it the second you said it. From San Diego, Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson. Like, I know he's a backup quarterback, dude, but that's unbelievable.
It's incredible.
That's how many teams feel that you're worth something year after year after year. You just keep getting jobs. They're like, this guy's going to understand the offense. If we get in trouble, he can play. He doesn't play a ton, but he's obviously very good at being a backup quarterback. Running skeleton, doing whatever. So 23 different teams from 2008 to 2026. That is, that's pretty good.
The reputation must precede him when you're talking about, we need a backup. We need someone. How about Josh? Like, good guy.
Yeah.
Heard really good things about him. Like, you talked about it. Like, how many starts has he had in his career? 11?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't start that much, but
no,
just keeps getting jobs.
So, like, he was with the 49ers multiple times, the Washington multiple times, the Bengals multiple times, the Ravens three times, different stints with the Ravens. So with the Jets multiple times, right? Like, so you're clearly doing something right when organizations keep bringing you back, right? So that guy is, no one's had more divorces and or like breakups and then reacquainting than old Josh. So good for Josh Johnson. Age 39, he's still rolling. And he also, in between there, he spent some time in the UFL, the XFL, and the AAF. So guy obviously loves his football. Now to March Madness. Of course, we got the play-in tournament tonight. You got two number 6. Well, one of them is going to become the number 16. So is this like 16A and 16B in UMBC versus Howard, and the winner gets the right to play Michigan? Howard, of course, has they've never won. So just for that, I'm taking Howard to win. Connor Halley. They've never won a game in the tourney, so I'm going to say they win tonight. We'll see if it happens. And then you've got Texas and NC State. And this is the other thing I never understand. How do you have play-in games of two teams who get the 11 seed? I've never understood it. Aren't the top 64 supposed to be in? Number 11's not top. I don't get it. What am I missing? So you're like, well, you got a play-in game to be number 11. Yeah, but why couldn't I just go in as a number 15? What am I missing, Cons? I don't get it. What am I missing here?
I would say we should bring in Deck because he knows for sure.
All right, Deck, get your mic on because I'm like, why is it an 11? I know it's an 11 every year. I just don't understand why.
Yeah, I mean, so there have been years where it's been 12. There has even been 1 year where I think it was 10s. Essentially, what it is these are just the bubble teams. Like, make no mistake, this is a money grab from the NCAA. Like, there's no rhyme or reason it should have gone from 64 to 68 outside of revenue. But these are the teams who, because you have, like, if you win your conference tournament, you get an auto bid.
Yep.
But the argument kind of became like, listen, that's what we do historically. These 16 seeds from the SWAC, the MAT, whatever it is, they're getting in. But we have these really high-ranked net teams that would have got in if it was just up to a committee as opposed to an auto bid. So then they take those teams that sit there on the bubble, they make them play their way into the tournament. But like I said, make no mistake, it's just a revenue thing.
Yeah, I would agree wholeheartedly. And I did mention this earlier, but I think it's important for those of you that haven't filled out your bracket. If you're a believer in trends, trendsetter. By the way, Cons, I'm going to put a request in for that song to be one of our intro songs soon. Sick tune, by the way. But anyway, in the last 50 years, only 3 teams in NCAA history west of Texas. Now think about that. Most of you kind of, maybe a little bit of geography, right? The state of Texas, it's pretty east of Central Time. And so that's a pretty big part of the country that's west of Texas. Only 3 teams in the last 50 years have won the tournament who are located west of Texas. UNLV, 1990. UCLA, 1995. Arizona, 1997. I know Declan, he picked Arizona. They're the number 2 seed overall. A lot of people like them. But history tells you it's hard for teams west of Texas to win March Madness. Just keep that in mind. You might want to get a map out when you're looking at your bracket. Just saying, Connor Halley.
Can I plug our bracket for Fantasy Frenzy?
You can.
If anybody does want to get in on this action, it's only $10. You just e-transfer $10 to Brandon at sports1440.ca. In the memo, include your email. He will send you the link with the password. We sign up. We're going to give half the money raised to the Ben Stelter Foundation, and then whoever wins will take the other half. So Donovan's won it. Eddie Steele has won it. Declan might be due. I might be due.
So basically, like you don't need any skill to win this bracket. Is what you're telling me, right?
That's 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Pick the favorite color, favorite the mascot.
Eddie and Donovan for sure. Like, that name rhymes with one of my ex-girlfriends. Okay, let's go with them.
St. Mary's. Oh, Mary. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly all it takes. Yeah. So Brandon at sports1440.ca, $10, and include your email.
Yeah. So there you have it. I like it. Greg's, where do you come up with these stats, man? It's unreal. But I like to do a lot of different research in different places. And then, you find some of them I research myself. Others I find on other places. A good friend of the show from Yahoo usually sends me a few sometimes. So it's awesome. But it's fun. A few of them I like to look up, like the McDavid ones and some other NHL ones we'll look at time to time. And the other Celebrini one we did mention once, but Macklin Celebrini has set a Sharks record for most points on the road in a season. Franchise record at 50. Pretty damn impressive. He's only played 33 road games. I like it. We'll return. Jason Strudwick will join us on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers, the next generation connects employers with motivated, pre-vetted youth through funded internships. Easy, impactful, and risk-free.
When you work with a group like Careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
The Price is Right Live is at the Brick. Come on down to any Brick location for your chance to win over $300,000 in prizes. They're giving away shopping sprees, mattresses, appliance packages, big screen TVs, and so much more. Plus, this Saturday, play for up to $1,000 off your purchase. Everyone who makes a purchase is a winner. The price is always right at The Brick. The Brick, saving you more. Some conditions apply. See in store for details.
Smart, connected, community driven. Jason Gregor sets the standard for sports talk in Edmonton. Join the conversation on Sports 1440. Text Gregor 833-401-1440. Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
Something's happening. Something big. The Service Big Share Contest is back, where just by saving money with Service Credit Union, you could win $1 million. From now until the end of April, the more money you save with us, the more chances you have to win. The Service Big Share Contest. Isn't it time to feel good about your money? The Service Big Share Contest ends April 30th, 2026. No purchase required. For information and rules, visit service.ca/win.
Sherwood Honda is home of the GOAT. That's their greatest offer all time. And they have plenty of pre-owned GOATs that they got on a trade. Every used vehicle they sell goes through a 182-point inspection and comes with a vehicle history report. Because peace of mind is an essential part of getting your GOAT. And Sherwood Honda sure would want you to buy with complete confidence.
Start thinking spring road trips and off-road trips in your new Subaru Crosstrek. Stylish, rugged, and so many features. Standard on every Crosstrek. Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive, EyeSight driver assist technology, heated seats, and LED steering responsive headlights. Plus, with interest rates from 0.99%, you'll love the affordable weekly payments. No waiting, immediate delivery available. Subaru Crosstrek. Visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a deal from Legacy. Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Did you know that Japa offers in-house and on-site heavy equipment service? Rain or shine, Japa Service Department is here for you. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.424, welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Hanley, game day on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Oilers and the Sharks tonight. Man, when was the last time the Oilers and the Sharks played a meaningful game? The Sharks obviously have had 6-7 years of real struggles. And you'd probably have to go back to 2017 season. Obviously, they met in the playoffs. So that'd be the last playoff meeting. Of course, that was the only playoff meeting that they've had. But even in the regular season, that would be the last time that you had a meaningful game for both of those teams. And you look at the standings tonight, the Edmonton Oilers come in. They're in third place in the Pacific Division. They're 2 points out of first behind Anaheim. They're one back of Vegas, who has 76. Edmonton has 75. Then Seattle has 71. LA has 71. And the Sharks have 70. Now, they have multiple games in hand, including 3 in hand on the Edmonton Oilers. So the Oilers win tonight, then they're 7 points up on the Sharks. The Sharks would have 16 games to go. The Oilers would have 13. The Oilers go 7-6. You get to 91. The Sharks are they'd have to go on a pretty big run, like 11-5 to catch the Oilers. So you could almost eliminate San Jose from catching you tonight. if you're the Edmonton Oilers. When you look at just the math and how hard it is, on average, yes, there's always exceptions. But a win tonight in regulation would go a long way for the Oilers, saying, all right, we're down to, LA or Seattle catching us. Regardless of where you finish, that's kind of what the mindset would be. So big game tonight for the Edmonton Oilers and the Sharks. Obviously, you win, you could potentially leapfrog LA and Seattle, depending on what happens on the out-of-town scoreboard. The Kings aren't playing, but the Kraken are hosting the Lightning. It is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in tonight. Lotto Max, $40 million. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. It is time for Threads On, brought to you by Action Electrical. 53 years. They know what they're doing. They got a lot of experience when it comes to electrical work. They got a projects division, service division, testing, and residential solar. Anything you need electrical-wise, you think actionelectrical.net.
The Jason Gregor Show presents Struds On.
I don't believe in tea bags. I use loose leaf tea, and it is so much better than the tea bags. I'll eat tea bags. I'll
Struds On.
I'm not a huge DJ guy. I mean, I guess if you had me a couple glow sticks and a tight white T-shirt that I can get wet, maybe I'd be into it.
Struds On.
There's a lone steakhouse I used to go to down in Kentucky, and they had bowls of peanuts. I wasn't sucking on those ones. You need to have clean nut. I'm talking about the kind you get in a bag at an Elks game. You know what I mean?
It's time for Struds On.
Freddie, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How's the older fan base? Are they a little antsy on the text line today?
A little bit, not crazy. I don't think. I think the Oilers' renewed commitment to defense probably has people a little calm. Obviously, I think Leon Draisaitl is a major loss. You can't discount that. But I've been saying, hey, look at what Pittsburgh's done without Crosby, and then they had Malkin out for 5 games. For goodness sakes, he was suspended. Look what Dallas did without Rupe Hintz and Rantanen. If the Oilers are a good team, and I think they are, you got to find ways to win games without one of your best players. That's just a fact.
Oh, you do. And listen, so a couple of things. Number one, it's more opportunity for other players. It doesn't mean necessarily more ice time for everyone, but someone's going to get on the power play, right? Someone's going to get a chance to play, more meaningful minutes towards the end of the game if the game's close. The other two things are, one, I don't think we can discount what has been happening with Matty Savoie all year, and then recently, especially since the Olympic break. He's really coming on, and the fact that he's playing beside Connor McDavid, that shakes Nugent Hopkins loose to while he was on, I guess we call the third line beside Dickinson and company, Roslovic, but it gives a different look. And also, you've got now Trent Frederick, who's also trending in the right direction. So, I mean, the fact that Trent's playing better is like finding a new player because he really struggled early in the year. But Savoie doing that changes the look and what they can do at this lineup. It'd be great if Lazar was healthy or Cole and Doc. They're not. When they come back, I'm sure they'll work their way back in there somewhere. But I think it's important to know where they are kind of with relative to individual players trending in the right direction.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like you look at like Matt Savoie, I've really liked his game here, especially coming out of the Olympic break. And, he's reliable. But I talked to Connor about him. Like I watched it last game, Struds. Like he makes so many small, deft passes right on the tape to McDavid where he can fly with speed. That makes a huge difference. It allows him to attack more. And then Savoie's speed on his own. That's the reason he scored the goal. He just outskated the Nashville guys that couldn't catch him on the 2-on-1. And I could just, you talk to McDavid, you can tell like he's a fan of Savoie. And I think he really likes his relentlessness. He kind of reminds him a little bit of Celebrini when they played together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be quite the comparison for sure. But what I like on that play you're talking about where Savoie scored last time is that, or last game, 97 gets the puck and he slows down. And in my mind, there's no doubt he was passing that puck to Savoie. Savoie worked so hard to get in there, to get in place, finish the shot off. That's building confidence, right? In your center, in you. And Connor was like, yep, I'll pass to this guy. Now, he does pass quite a bit. But in that play, I remember watching it live. I'm like, this guy's going to make that play. So it's important right now for Savoy to keep doing that, because then that's your first line. And there's other looks you can flash to different teams as, you know, as time with Leon's up. There's no replacing Leon. I mean, you don't replace that guy. But you hold on for, you know, Baker's dozens of games. You know, hopefully you get a few wins. Today's a huge game where you can really push a team down. But also the Oilers are playing better, you know. So if there was a time to lose Leon, I guess this would be it, with him trending defensively in the right direction.
Well, I look at their defensive play, Struddy, and obviously the D zone, they pack the house a little bit more. We see that the wingers aren't as high. You know, they're coming back a little bit lower. But to me, the biggest difference is just being their commitment to back pressure and back checking. Like Connor McDavid made 3 great plays on the backtracking against Nashville. I saw Kapanen make a few Podkolzin. And like, to me, that's the difference. And Jason Dickinson, Struddy, like, it would have been like interview porn for you listening to his response yesterday, talking about the commitment to defense and just, you know, how you're going to win with it. Like, I don't know if you heard him or not. If not, we might get Cons to play it, because it was very insightful. Even the audience is like, okay, like, I understand when he just talked about the commitment and to the little things, you know, blocking shots, taking a hit, you know, getting back, and all the things that are just, it's hard to do, Struddy, but because I've always thought defense is more will than skill, and the Oilers' will has ramped up a lot here in the last 8 to 10 games.
Well, it's an awareness you have to do it, right? And then you hope that it's kind of like being physical. You know, if 1 or 2 guys get going physical, then more guys get into it. But playing, like, defending is not. You're right. It's not a superhero skill. I mean, it's not like skating. It's about being in the right place, a desire to get in the way, to put sticks in the lanes, to block shots, all those types of things. And there's easy way outs. Right? Oh, well, it's okay. Well, someone else will figure out. Well, the problem is no one else has been figuring it out a lot for the Oilers when you look at their goals against this year. Most times it hasn't happened. So now with a guy like Dickinson, you know, he's kind of pushing that into it. But I think Connor recognized it. Leon recognized, other guys through the lineup recognize it. And they know they're getting close to the end of the year. They have to dial that in. And if they can do that, they can score. I'm not worried about the scoring. I'm worried about getting scored against and how hard it is to kind of have to bang out 4 or 5 goals on a game to win, when you can just as simply win 3-1 as we saw last evening with Nashville.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, what about the power play, Struddy? Draisaitl, that's a big hole, right? Like, he's been their go-to shooter on the power play. When he's a shooter, their power play scores more. All the numbers back it up. So we saw Podkolzin there. He was much more stationary than Draisaitl. He did have a one-timer, and I think if he raises that in the top upper half of the net, he scores a goal. But, you know, Chris Knobloch admitted that they're going to try a few different looks, right? He talked about, you know, winning that face-off. So does that mean they bring in Henrique? Does that mean they, you know, is it Nugent Hopkins? Do they maybe try the right side and put a Rosovic or Savoy? Who do you think's going to rotate and try the look with Draisaitl?
Well, the problem is that they don't have a guy that can do what Leon does and shoot from that spot. Now, Podkolzin tried, and yeah, it was a pretty good shot, but in the end of the day, it didn't go in, and no one can shoot it like him. So who is the guy that can fit that bill and try to become a shooter? I think it's Rosovic. Like, this guy does not look away from shooting the puck, and someone's got to shoot it. So I wonder if, just based on sheer shooting desire, he being Rostovic doesn't get in there. I mean, Henrique, I get it. At this point, he's not a big shooter. Savoy is trying to find, you know, he's finding it. I think he can shoot the puck. I don't see him shooting quite like Rostovic does today. So the problem is, where do you put everybody, right? Where does everyone stack up in this situation? And that would be something for McFarland and company to figure out. But as far as having a shooter, that's the guy I would like.
Jason Strudwick joins us. Struddy, what have you made of the defense, and what's your thoughts on Connor Murphy?
Well, I mean, he brings something that I honestly really value a lot. He a defensive awareness, and he plays pretty hard. Right? That's what you want. You want to have someone that can go in there and kind of make people accountable in different areas of the ice. And I think he when he does that, oh, geez, now it's Darnell Nurse. Like, I remember, I've got to play that way. Ekholm can play that way. We've seen Bouchard play that way. I think Wallman maybe had his best game of the year last game. Like, I thought he was good. And when he's hitting and he kind of is a prick out there, like we saw that Weisblatt hit, he's at his best. He can't just be a wallflower, right? I think he's got to be invested in it. Timerson's out, I know, and Stasny's moving and skating well. But I think there's an opportunity for this D to kind of come together as a group. And maybe the missing piece was Murphy. To bring something that maybe they didn't have was that defensive conscience they truly need at this point.
Oh God, yeah. He does a lot of just the simple defensive stuff. He's good at shutting down the cycle. Things that lots of people maybe don't love to do. Lots of defensemen don't love to do, blocking shots, etc. Yeah, I think Murphy's been a good, as is Dickinson, man. Like I really like Dickinson's game a lot. What about a young Josh Szymanski? We talked about it. Chris Knobloch said there's probably two lines that will go up against Celebrini. Dickinson's going to be one. I would guess it's probably McDavid, the other one. But I wonder if we see Szymanski sprinkled in a few shifts against Celebrini. Because if you could have Dickinson and Szymanski against Celebrini and kind of split their minutes, and then have McDavid play against the other three lines, that's a massive advantage for you because those minutes, the Sharks, that's not going to go well for them.
Well, my number one choice is Dickinson. Like he's done it. Like that, he's done it. And he takes those hard assignments on. And if it is with Roslovic and Nuge, those three guys should be able to hold that group, accountable and make them, make it hard for them to create offense and get going. That's three smart players. Roslovic, I wouldn't say he's the most defensive oriented player, but the other two are. So hopefully they can help him out. So then Szymanski has really been a treat for me to see. I remember they signed him in the summer. Who is this guy? And Stan Bowman's desperate to find prospects that aren't currently under contract or drafted by anyone else. They need guys. And if this guy can be the solution on your, third or fourth line, let's say, moving forward, that's huge because it didn't cost you anything and you found him out of nowhere and he's big and he can skate pretty well. And there's a bit of an edge to him. I think there is a little bit of an edge to him and it doesn't hurt. I don't think that Leon Draisaitl knows who he is and understands kind of what he's going through. So yes, I would give him some shots at that line, Celebrini's line, but my preference would be Dickinson out there as much as possible. Because quite frankly, that's what he's trained to do.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I kind of thought, okay, if he's playing 13 minutes, maybe it's like 8.5, 9 Dickinson and 4 for the other line.
Yeah,
that's because it's not going to be 100%. This is not the 80s where you were shadowing guys and they come over. But the other thing that was interesting to me was Knobloch admitted that with Draisaitl out, he will look for line matchups more than he normally does. So that's something to kind of monitor tonight.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I think, every game might be different when you're playing different teams. Look at advantage for Connor McDavid. And now, be interesting to see how steady does he keep the lines considering that there's no nuclear option, right? There's no Leon to put beside Connor. I wonder what that effect, if any, will have with his decisions on lines, but also on the ability for guys to kind of get comfortable on a line and kind of get rolling through it. So, we saw that last year when both guys were out and different guys started playing more. They kind of got their mojo because it wasn't even playing more. It's just the timing they're getting a chance to play starts and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here. Make no mistake, I'm not advocating for Leon to not play. You want him in your lineup every night, but you're trying to find a silver lining at this point, and that may be possibly one.
Jason Strudwick joins us. Overall, Struddy, where do you like the Leon Draisaitl? How concerned are you that this is something that maybe could leak into the playoffs?
Well, man, I saw him and he took 2 shifts after, and he was moving pretty gingerly, as my grandma would say, right? He wasn't really too bullish out there. And he's a tough guy. He played, you remember that high ankle sprain he played with in LA, that LA series and that on. That was ugly, really ugly. And he was able to manage it. So, I don't know. How far, what is their last game? April 14th or something, 15th, something like that?
April 16th, I think, is their last.
Yeah.
Game.
So let's say he has 30 days. 30 days to get better. If it's a knee, let's say, and I'm just guessing, if it's a knee, if it's, those things, if it's solid enough, it takes 4 to 6 weeks. So can he be back for game 1? Yeah, I guess so. I don't think it's an ankle. Maybe it's a groin. I don't know. But, you're trying to figure it out. So, that 4 to 6 week timeline helps. I find most injuries that aren't, really bad. So you're in that, I think you're in that window. But I would be, unless it's something really serious, I think I'd be surprised if he's not back for game one, rested and hopefully healed up well enough to contribute, because I don't know, people are talking about they can walk through the Ducks, without Leon. It's a pretty good team, and that's an unbelievable center you don't have on your team. So it would be a lot closer than my liking to not have Leon. If it, let's say it was the Ducks or Vegas, whoever it would be.
I don't know if you watched any of the Pittsburgh Colorado game last night or not, Struddy, but now Pittsburgh was very fortuitous, 7 goals on 20 shots. Like that's, hey, Oilers fans, just so you know, go look at Mackenzie Blackwood's numbers. If Mackenzie Blackwood's numbers were like, they haven't been good here lately. He's got like a 3.33 goals against average. It's not pretty at all coming out of the Olympic break. But I know because they're in first place, no one really concerns it. But the thing is, I watch Colorado, and the more I watch them, I don't think they want to finish first, because if they meet Minnesota in the first round, that to me reeks of an upset. Heavy forwards of Minnesota against a smaller blue line, sign me up if I'm Minnesota.
Well, it's funny because Colorado has cooled somewhat, and I think Minnesota's cooled a little bit as well. And Dallas was absolutely rolling into their last 16 or 17 games. So they haven't had their best players, which you kind of mentioned earlier. So I'm really interested to see how that all shakes out. I agree. You got to go for it. You got to finish first, because you know that whoever plays second, third is going to be a real battle in there. Now, I mean, it's going to be tough coming out of there. And in some ways, the third round player that goes in to play the third round against the Pacific Division champion, that might be their easiest series if they have to play, second, third, and then first. But if I'm the Pacific Division, I'm happy to take that game, because that hopefully some team will have had 2 really hard series. Yeah, I'll take that. And if you can not walk through, but have an easier time in the Pacific Division than he did in the Central.
What did you make of George Paros's comments about player safety? And, he was outlining they've got a good group of guys. It's not just him, which I agree with. I think some people think Paros is the only guy making the decisions on player safety. But, Connor McDavid said, hey, maybe it's something everybody's complaining. Maybe it's something we have to look at. What did you make of McDavid? And then what did you make of Paros's, return volley to that?
Well, I think Connor should speak his mind more often. And I didn't think he was complaining. It wasn't a player from his team.
Yeah.
He's just saying what everyone's thinking. If everyone's unhappy, maybe we should take a look at this. And I love that he said that, because people listen. I remember when I played in Maryland, you would talk. I mean, it was like, okay, Mario said this, we got to do something, right? And then, he looked back at 04-05 and they kind of changed all the rules. So, it has an impact on it. I think it does make a difference. As far as George, he's doing what I think is best. And he does. I know there's a process where a bunch of different people look at it, then they kind of look at what's happened in the past and all that. This is what I'll say about that hit. There's no reason to lay that hit in that moment, in that space. Like, if that's coming through the neutral zone and you stick your leg out, no problem. But that there to me was just no reason for that hit at all. So I would, even if they just would have said it's an in-person hearing, I wonder how much just changed the narrative. At least they looked at it, and he had to come in, and we brought him on the carpet, and we talked about what that might be. And I think just that might have changed a little bit more for me. But I guess, Grace, my answer would be, what would someone want instead? Like, what do we do instead of this? What's better than that? And if everyone's mad, maybe it's kind of working because no one's winning.
Well, hey, you know what? That's very well said. Struddy, enjoy the game tonight. Are you on TV tonight?
Yeah, I'm on the panel just doing my makeup, buddy. You might want to take a hard look. I'm going to be looking good.
Oh, God. Buddy, you know what? Hey, man, funny thing is I walked by there the other day, but you were facing out towards the ice, and I was like, oof, jeez. There's a race between you, Brownie, and Rashog. Like, I'm going to have to start taking photos to update that race. It's crazy.
No, I've got way more hair than those guys. Like, those two are drowning. They're always wearing hats. I don't wear a hat. I'm not hiding it, right? I'm not that guy. Just showing what I've got. And it's set. The sun is setting, but hasn't set on this magnificent hair on my head.
Well, it's Struddy. Keep it up, buddy. Propitia's working.
It's See you at the game, buddy.
You betcha. That's Jason Strudwick, 445. We'll return. We got Cinq Questions and more on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Craving your favorite mouth-watering pizzas? Papa John's has large specialty pizzas for only $19.99 for a limited time. Get a flavorful all the meats, the works, ultimate pepperoni, Hawaiian, barbecue chicken, and more on original thin or New York style crust. Use the code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
It's the iconic Jasper Ave Patty Party. That's on the rocks.
We're turning Jasper Avenue green.
Your 5-day St. Patty's Day party kicks off Friday at OTR.
With live entertainment every day.
Including the Feelin' Lucky burlesque show on Sunday.
Plus pipers, Irish dancers, and doors open at 9 a.m. on the 17th.
We got more green beer than Marco has fancy shirts. And trust me, that's a lot.
Lucky the Leprechaun will be there.
Will you?
It's the iconic Jasper Ave Patty Party. That's on the rocks. Next round's on me. Woohoo!
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, Makar, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth WE football coverage online, elksnation.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$4.49. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger with you. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. It is game day. We'll have the pregame show coming up at 6 o'clock. Puck drop 7:08 tonight, like an early one, not very late after 7 o'clock. Oh, dare to dream. Could you imagine the day the puck drop was 7 o'clock in the NHL? Oh, dare to, if I was the commissioner, that's what I'd say. What time are we announcing the puck drop? Okay, good. Or the game started? That's when we're going to start the puck. That would be awesome. I'd love it. Not holding my breath, but dare to dream. Dare to dream. There's really no reason not to do it. You got pregame shows all the time on all the sports networks. It's not hard. If the most successful league in the world or in North America can do it, you can do it. They announce kickoff 11 o'clock. It's kickoff at 11. Now, the afternoon game, some say 2:15, some say 2:20. That's fine. You list it as it is so people know. But 8 minutes, much better than 15 or 22. So we'll take a 7:08 puck drop tonight as we get to Cinq Question, brought to you by The Brick, where the price is right. Live deal is on right now. Over $300,000 in prizes to be won in furniture, mattresses, appliances, big screen TVs. Stop in right now at The Brick and you can win.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1. Without Leon Draisaitl for the rest of the regular season, where do you think the Oilers finish in the Western Conference?
Go ahead.
I'm going to say they actually finish right where they are, and maybe just a bit of a benefit of playing in the Pacific Division. If you're in the Central, things could get a little bit tougher. But I you look at the Kraken, the Kings, the Sharks. I think the Edmonton Oilers, even without Leon Draisaitl, can hold them off. Hey, they could go higher, but I'm going to say they finished 3rd in the Pacific.
Okay. I actually think the Oilers are playing well. And the Draisaitl loss, don't get me wrong, is going to hurt them, but they play a lot of the teams that they are chasing. I'm going to say the Oilers win the division. Surprise everybody, Connor. Why not?
I like it. Question number 2. Let's get your official prediction for the game tonight. Of course, with a bold prediction mixed in as well.
Well, to me, this is a classic case of a veteran team that knows how to win when it matters against a young and up and start team that'll be entertaining and exciting. But the Oilers end up winning this game by a score of 4-2, and Matt Savoy scores in back-to-back games.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, I think the Edmonton Oilers will win this one. I want to see some goals. So let's say 5-3, and give me Nuge with a 3-point game tonight is my bold prediction. Question number 3 for you. Doug Armstrong out as GM for Team Canada. Who do you think would be a good pick to replace him?
Oh, man, that's a good question.
Because it's kind of, we were talking at the bar, like it's a job where a lot of the names are easy, but how are you going to construct the team? And then there's also going to be a lot of really good hockey players left off. So it's not as easy as a job as it might seem.
Yeah, like I'm gonna I would look and say like it's hard to overlook Brisebois in Tampa Bay. Right? I just think that he's pretty connected, has a pretty good track record. So I would have him. I'm probably going to say Brisebois is going to be the leader as the GM, because I'm looking, Bill Zito's American. Otherwise, he'd have been a very good choice. So I'm trying to think of any other Canadian guys. And if he's there, again, I'm going to guess that Matthew Darche will be part of the GM team. So that's my pick, Julien Brisebois.
I like that. Maybe Jim Nill would be someone I'd look at. I think he's done a really good job with the Dallas Stars over the last few years and has been a part of Hockey Canada. Maybe he gets left out as a kind of a new regime going forward here, but I really like the job that he's done with the Stars since being there for over a decade. So that's who would be my pick. Question number 4, since it is St. Patrick's Day, give me your top 3 green uniforms in sports.
Well, the Hartford Whalers, original, no question. The Minnesota North Stars was awesome. And I'm going to go with the Dallas Stars, neon green and black. Those are my 3.
I like it. My number 1 team I loved, obviously, growing up was the Edmonton Eskimos, now Elks. The Warren Moon era, and then the Mike Riley Grey Cup winning team. I think that green was really nice. I don't love the team, but the Boston Celtics have a classic look with their green uniform. And for the last one, give me the Philadelphia Eagles. Their, is it Kelly Green they go by? Yeah, Kelly Green. I always think it looks better when they do the Photoshops than on the field, but it's still a good look when it's out there. So that would be my 3rd. Final question for you. Give me your top 3 exports from Ireland in honor of St. Patrick's Day.
Go ahead.
Well, potatoes, I think, has to be pretty high up there. We talked about the versatility of those and, everything they do. They're amazing. I guess Bono, I played a little U2 earlier on in the show today. Now, the only downside was they gave us that free music on Apple once that really upset people. So that one was a little bit tough. And I mean, I guess St. Patrick's Day is a lot of fun. It's not necessarily a thing, but it's a day we represent the Irish and the heritage there, and a lot of people have a lot of good times. So I'll take a food, a person, and a holiday with those three.
Okay. If I'm going, I'm looking at. Well, I think I got to go with like vaccines. That would probably be the number one. They are very. I know that there's some people that might disagree, but history would tell you might be incorrect on that one. They have exported. I think that's their number one export, Cons, if I'm not mistaken. So I will go with that. You already went with potatoes, so I'm not going to go, but I'm going to go with beer. Right, Ireland's beer, excellent. Right, if you are a fan of it, and now I don't know. Like I've met a few. I'm not sure how authentic they were, but I'm going to go with leprechauns. Who is? Have you ever met a bad leprechaun?
No.
Met a few intoxicated ones. They're always fun. So I'm going to say leprechaun.
Good pick.
I'll be guys, I can't believe no one picked the Riders green. Well, you know what? I actually like the old school Riders helmet when they had the S logo on their helmet. That I think was that's their best look. Not so much the green, but that logo on the helmet I very much liked. So it's fair.
I kind of liked, it's not really green, but they're all black uniform that they had. Like neon green was there, perhaps. I was a fan of that.
Cons, just so you know, potatoes originated in North America and went over to Europe along with tomatoes and sweet potatoes. They're not an Irish export, according to Conrad. Well, now we got to look that up.
Do they export them, Conrad?
Oh, yeah. Do they now?
Do they?
I don't know.
You tell me. Pretty sure they do.
Oh.
We didn't say what's the best thing to originate in Ireland. I said what's greatest export.
And are their potatoes better than other potatoes?
I think so.
Okay.
Famine hit them pretty hard, right? When all the potato crops went down.
Oh, that is very true. So, it would be. I'd be curious to see. Like you know what? We grew up. I never had imported potatoes. We grew up on a farm and made our own potatoes. So, but I don't know. Like, where did the original potato come from that we used? That I'll never know. Because lots we would just reuse our potatoes, Cons. I don't know if you ever knew that, but right, we would just take a potato, keep some over for winter, and then the next year we just cut them and plant those. And they
really?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, best way to grow the potatoes, man. So it was like once you get a good batch, now they just stay in your garden year after year, right? Because you keep you pick them all at the end, get rid of all the potatoes. Then we used to put them down in the cellar, and we'd always keep my mom would keep 10 or 15, make sure we didn't eat them. And then those are the ones that we would cut up and then use them for the following year. So
I did not know that.
Oh, yes.
It's cool.
Oh, it's great. So it's just like our cows. We never, I think we had one cow that was purchased away from our farm, and the rest we just built up all our herd right from homegrown. So it's good. You knew exactly what you were getting, Cons. I knew the lineage, shall we say. Hey, guys, what about no St. Patrick's Day jokes? Do you have a good St. Patrick's Day joke? Send me your best St. Patrick's Day jokes, please. Maybe we'll even use a few on the show in the final hour. Could use a good laugh. Who couldn't use a good laugh? So yeah, if you got some good jokes, St. Patty's Day jokes, send them to us. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'll tell you, no jokes. No deals. No, I guess additions to deals. Just a good deal on a vehicle. You want to save money? That's what you can do. You don't need to get a golf bag. You don't need to get a leprechaun. Just get a good deal. Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC.
The Sports 1440 update.
case you missed it earlier today, the Oilers announcing that forward Leon Draisaitl expected to miss the remainder of the regular season after suffering a lower body injury in the first period of the team's win over Nashville. Oilers hosting the Sharks tonight at 7. Our pregame coverage with Andrew Walker gets going at 6. Immediately following the Jason Gregor show elsewhere. Kraken taking on the Lightning, the Sabres in Vegas. You got the Canucks and the Panthers, Preds, Jets, Wild, Blackhawks, Jackets host the Canes, Bruins in Montreal, and the Leafs hosting the Islanders. In the association, Heat taking on the Hornets, Magic host the Thunder, Cavs in Milwaukee. Timberwolves taking on the Suns. The Nuggets will host Philadelphia. No Joel Embiid in that one. And the Kings up against the Spurs. March Madness first 4 action. Right now, Howard leads UMBC 21-16 in the first. Later tonight, you got NC State taking on Texas. In the PWHL, Boston will host Toronto just after 5. And from the NFL, the Miami Dolphins trading wide out Jalen Waddle with the fourth round pick to the Denver Broncos for a first, a third, and a fourth. The Dolphins now will have $175 million in dead cap this season. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet, Derek Van Diest from NHL.com, and here another edition of Cam Tate's 2-Minute Warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 furnace install company for sailors because they know the value of a warm port. And they sing, there was a ship who fought the cold, who sailed the sea with a furnacey load. She brought the heat to YEG and her name was Legacy. Through icy wind and winter squall, her fire she burned for one and all with a comfort chugging guarantee, and her name was Legacy. No payments, no. Yep, no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. Don't trust just any ports in a winter storm. Trust Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Craving your favorite mouth-watering pizzas? Papa John's has large specialty pizzas for only $19.99 for a limited time. Get a flavorful all the meats, the works, ultimate pepperoni, Hawaiian, barbecue chicken, and more on original thin or New York style crust. Use the code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Are you looking for an affordable business move for team outing this season? Why not catch the excitement of a game with the 5-time Junior Hockey League champions, the Spruce Grove Saints. With extremely affordable group and suite packages available and some of the lowest food and drink prices around, Saints games are the perfect night for your next group event. Get your group in on the action. For more information, visit sgsaints.ca.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call-solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit ProSolutionsInc.ca to schedule your service today.
The Price is Right, live at the Brick. Come on down to any Brick location for your chance to win over $300,000 in prizes. They're giving away shopping sprees, mattresses, appliance packages, big screen TVs, and so much more. Plus, this Saturday, play for up to $1,000 off your purchase. Everyone who makes a purchase is a winner. The price is always right at the Brick. The Brick, saving you more. Some conditions apply. See in store for details.
A relaxing day at the lake without a Toyota Tundra can be noisy. But when you get a Tundra at your local Toyota dealer, you can take advantage of up to 11,000 pounds of towing capacity to find a quieter spot. That's better. Lease a 2026 Tundra 4x4 Double Cab SR5 from $149 weekly for 60 months at 5.29% APR with $8,199 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your Prairie Toyota dealer today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches. stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at CanTorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock on a lovely Tuesday. A little melt out there. It's warm weather, some t-shirt weather for many of you. Oh, man. It's probably makes standing in line outside the pubs right now a little bit easier. So pace yourself, boys and girls. Get home safe tonight. Be respectful. Be nice. Have some fun. And maybe avoid a green beer. Just have the regular. Get a good stout, maybe a Guinness right now. Oof, it's good. Love the dark beers, buddy. Love a good dark ale. Get a stout on you. It's fantastic, especially on St. Patrick's Day. Why not? Why not? 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can always text us. We got a few jokes coming in, a few groaners. Some are not, but some are like, oof. Hey, Connor, how many potatoes did it take to kill an Irishman?
How many?
None. Oh, that's a tough one.
Whoa, too soon.
Those
are my people.
One.
Come on.
It's a tough one, eh? Well, that's why I asked you. I can ask you that question. So there you go. That is a tough one.
It's dark.
Yeah, it is dark for sure. Hey, I'm just reading the joke, okay? I'm just reading it. Obviously, I love the Irish. It's great. Gregor Show always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Hey, get in the game. Maybe you could, I'll tell you right now, you win tonight's Lotto Max of 40 million. Could buy as many potatoes as you want. Like, what's your favorite type of potato? Is it mashed potato, baked potato, scallop potato? A lot of options. Stuffed potato. I'm a mashed guy. Mashed potatoes, oof, great.
Hash brown, fries.
Oh, you know what?
Potato chips.
I will say we have a fry cutter now at home. You take just a potato and then you put it in the air fryer. Unbelievable, man. So good. So those are pretty good, but I still might have to go with smashed potatoes for sure. Now let's get to the spec report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialist who is hiring right now. If you're looking for not only a job, but a great career, top man, pipe layers, operators, check out gsconstruction.ca and apply today under careers. As Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, what's your favorite spud?
Oh, my favorite spud, eh? I never looked past a good tater tot.
Oh,
that's for sure.
Okay.
I'm also not I will say I'll replace it with the sweet potato fries once in a while. Does that count?
Well, yeah, I guess the sweet potato is technically a potato. So
Healthier than potato, I think.
I don't know about that. That is good though. I love mashed sweet potatoes, man. I love anything mashed. They're great. So you mix in just a little bit of brown sugar on them. Oh, so good.
Yeah. I'm a little sour. I was down at Mike's Northgate GMC picking up a nice little Trailblazer today to drive around. And then I realized here I got this brand new car and it's St. Paddy's Day and I feel like going for a couple pints. I thought, nah, you know what?
Can't do it.
That's probably a bad idea.
Just not good. So you just should have said Uber it. Go home and then just walk across the street. Come on. Figure it out.
Hey, Mike, I just picked up this truck and do we have insurance on this thing yet?
Yeah. Not good. Not good. The Oilers, obviously bad news for them today. Leon Draisaitl done for the rest of the regular season. And, you know, that's a little ominous. A lot of people are like, oh my God, does that mean he's going to miss the playoffs? We'll see. But
Who can say?
Yeah, the Oilers got 14 games left. And now with, the only positive of Draisaitl going on LTIR, and this is me reaching, is that now they have room to call up players because they can move them to LTIR. And then, because right now they have 4, you're allowed 5 recalls now after the trade deadline. They've used 1 on Doc. Szymanski and Jones were both emergency recalls, so they don't officially count yet. So they still technically have 4. So now, if you call up a guy spec and let's say Jones then becomes a healthy scratch, well, then he's not an emergency recall anymore. So, they do have 4, but not really, because Jones is up. You'd have to go down or something else. So, but they still have a few. Let's just say they have 3 max left to do. So I would think a forward and a defenseman at some points coming up.
Yeah, sure. Listen, there's nobody in Bakersfield that's going to fix this problem. Like they got lots of guys here. They got a veteran team that's been to 2 cups in a row.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Penguins have been without Sid Crosby since the Olympics. They don't have a remember, as great as player as Draisaitl is, and we're talking about a walk-in Hall of Famer, he's the Oilers' second best player, right? So, the Leafs have been out without Matthews. I know they're not winning. That's a bad example. But, hey, teams get injuries, and it's not some kid in Bakersfield that's going to solve this problem for them. It's an Oilers team that this is their chance to show that, we're going to get a little less offense. Our power play is probably going to be a little less effective. And we got another way to win games, as opposed to outscoring everybody by getting to 4 and 5 every night. We got another way to win games. It's their time to prove it now.
Well, you know what? It's opportunity, specifically on the power play spec. There were some interesting things coming from Chris Knobloch's press conference today. Number one, he said they're going to try some different looks. So you had Podkolzin in there. He mentioned the need to win the face-off. So I don't know, right? Like I don't know if they're going to move Henrique there or not, or do you try it on the other side because you think Matt Savoy? Because Matt Savoy has actually been pretty good on faceoffs as a right guy. So I'll be curious to see who. I think it's going to start probably what they had last game, but Podkolzin looked okay there. I thought it was pretty stationary. I just think Roslovic and Savoy can be more dynamic for you, even though Matt Savoy's not even on the second power play unit, so maybe he won't be an option. But I'm kind of curious to see who they move into that spot.
I feel like it's Roslovic's gig. I felt like it was a bit of a reward for Podkolzin, who's really played well. Like, he's been good. Podkolzin is not a first power play unit player. Sorry. Roslovic is much closer to that, because it's not just about standing in one place and shooting pucks. You got to retrieve. You got to make passes. You got to make plays. You got to buy yourself some time. You got to handle pucks. I think Roslovic's probably the best fill-in. A right-hand shot. It's just the power play gets different. Like, the default now doesn't become drawing everybody into the middle and then firing it over to that guy in Draisaitl's office. There's probably Bouchard's got to shoot the puck more. Probably the more down low place to Hyman. McDavid's probably going to shoot more. Nugent Hopkins said this morning, he says one of the things will happen is we probably have to shoot more pucks here. So let's see how they figure it out.
Yeah. The other one was Knobloch admitted that with Draisaitl out, because we asked him, like, who are you going to play against Celebrini? And Dickinson's line for sure. And then he said a second line. And, my initial thought was McDavid, but then I was like, ooh, if I'm thinking outside the box, I know they're very high in Szymanski. If you can say, hey, you know what, Josh, we'll give Dickinson 9 minutes against Celebrini's line, and we'll give Szymanski 4. That means that McDavid, I don't know, but McDavid, you could open him up the rest of the Sharks lineup spec. He can feast on them. That's just a fact.
Okay, so here's the flaw in that theory. Celebrini's going to play 24 minutes.
Yeah, but not 5-on-5.
Are you every time Celebrini comes out, are you going to call McDavid off the ice and sit him down so somebody else out?
No.
So that's a bit of the flaw in the ointment. The other one is, and I think this will be the driver tonight for me. I think that it's most important for Knobloch to play his top defensive pairing against Celebrini.
Sure.
And that pairing, who does Bouchard and Ekholm usually play with?
Yeah, but you don't think he's going to play Nurse and Murphy against them a lot? I think their D pair will split up a lot. You don't think so?
I think he's going to try to play 14-2 against them, and 14-2 play with 97's line. And the last thing I'll say to you is I think that this becomes a bit of a, Connor McDavid, he expects to play, and he has every right to play. And I don't think that he loves it. I don't think you can have some young hotshot kid walk into Connor McDavid's building at this time of year, and you're almost not playing Connor against him because you think you got better guys. I think Connor McDavid wants to say, look, son, you're in my rink. It's my time of year. Play against me. I'm going to have the puck all night. I'm not sure that you could just say, Connor, we're using other guys. I think that he'd be burning holes in his coach's jacket looking over his shoulder. That's what I think.
Potentially, but I'll be interested to see. I wouldn't be shocked if it's a split between Dickinson and it. Dickinson's line's very good, man, and that's his role. Dickinson wants to face, like, you got two guys who want to play the other team's best players, and it's not because you don't think McDavid can do it. Like, to me, it's like, hey, if I can take Dickinson and he evens out against Celebrini, and I believe he can, well, then I believe McDavid's going to feast on everybody else.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
But I like that Knobloch said we're going to match lines more than we normally do now with Leon out. So this will be something to watch. It starts tonight on the homestand. Like Florida, without Barkov and all the other guys that they don't have right now, you still will line match, but it's going to be interesting to see, like, when Tampa Bay comes here, that will be a big one for line matching, right? Like you got Bennett and Kachuk coming into town on Thursday, and then you have the Lundell line. But after that, then they got, like, their bottom six in San Jose is in Florida is really beat up now with, like,
it's pretty beat up. Yeah, they're digging pretty deep in their organization to fill out their four lines for sure.
Yes. So, they even got a defenseman playing forward there the other game. So I think that Edmonton, like, I know Draisaitl's out here, Spec, but when I look at their lineup, you still got Connor McDavid. You got a pretty good second line when you got 3 20-goal scorers on your second line. Like, the orders depth isn't as bad. Like, some people see names and they think, oh, Kapanen isn't good. I'm like, I don't think you're paying attention here. Jack Roslovic's had a really good year. Nugent Hopkins is solid.
A good player, for
right?
sure.
Like, so they're fine. Honestly, believe that the Edmonton Oilers, I thought they'd been playing much better defensively, excluding the Dallas game here for the last few weeks. And this will just be an even better reminder to say, hey, we're not going to cheat, but we have something to prove here as a veteran team that we can win a few games without one of our best players.
I think that's the biggest part of it right there. I think this is an Oilers team that wants, it's just time. Like as Zach Hyman said after last game, we have no choice. It's time to play. We're 14 games left. It's just time to exert yourself as a team that's been a Stanley Cup contender and a genuine one for 4 years here. It's time to either be that team or if you can't be that team now, Jay, I guess you're not that team anymore, right? Is what I would say to you. If you can't be that team, 14 games left, a homestand here, plenty of rest. Yeah, you got a guy hurt. Join the team. Everyone's got guys hurt. It's time to, if the Edmonton Oilers are a Stanley Cup contender and an experienced, good team that can win more ways than just one way, it's time to be that team. And I suspect you'll see that team.
The Sharks are currently in 10th place in the West, but they're only 1 point behind 9th place LA and 1 point behind 8th place Seattle, and they have 1 game in hand in Seattle, 2 games in hand on the Kings. Do you think the Sharks end up being a playoff team this year?
It's going to come down to the last weekend for the Sharks, I suspect. It's that tight. I put it this way. I'd love to see them be that team. I think that would be awesome. You're asking me to predict something that's happening in 4 weeks from now. They're still going to be in an in or out position in my books. They got a tough sked, man. They go home. They just played 4 in the East. They're playing here tonight. They go home. They play Buffalo's waiting for them. They play 2. Then they go back out East again, Jay. Right? All those Eastern road trips Edmonton took in the start of the season, Anaheim and San Jose are getting them now. So it's a stretch run. Everyone's playing hard. There's lots of loser points out there. Their schedule's crappy, and they're a young team that has never done this before. So if we could be talking a month from now, which is just about the start of the playoffs, and they're still in a wild card position, I think that's the best they can hope for. I do not see San Jose reeling off a ton of wins and walking into third place or something. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I have a hard time thinking the Sharks. Like, I love what the Sharks are doing. I just think as the games get tighter here down the stretch, they're going to have some struggles. Their defense is like you've given up the second most goals in the NHL all year long. I just think it's hard to overcome. And you've got a really young team. Like they're exciting. They're going to play some meaningful games here. They'll probably win a few of them. But like I look at the orders, and tonight, honestly, Spec, I think you will see a veteran team give a little bit of a lesson to a young team in how to play sound defensive hockey.
Okay, well, that's a lesson I'd sure like to see the Oilers teach somebody. They were very good against. Listen, they were really good for 50 minutes in St. Louis. They were excellent in Vegas. They were excellent in Denver against an unbelievably good Denver team, Colorado. Yeah, Dallas was a write-off. Then they come home. They're awfully good against, they're 2-0 against Nashville for whatever it was, 45 minutes. They win a game 3-1. I don't mind the way they're playing. They're building something here that I think is what you're talking about. Does it culminate tonight in what you just said, a lesson for a young team? Well, I'm going to the game. My eyes are wide open. I'd love to see it.
Spacco, I will see you there. We will watch it together.
Sounds good, brother. Look forward to seeing you, man.
There you go. Don't trip on a Guinness on the way there.
Yeah, no, I'll maybe after the game, however.
That's the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. DVD will be by. We got Cam Tate. We'll also hear a little bit more from the order room. We'll hear from Matt Savoy, who was 9 points in 10 games since coming out of the Olympic break. The youngster's on fire. He's been promoted to the top line, just had a game-winning goal last game. What's he going to do for an encore? So we'll hear from him as well on the Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold to the vent, start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a deal from Legacy. Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in
2
threes.
minutes.
Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of
Now
four
that the
select
series
tires,
is over,
and $50 off a
this is
$150
CanTorque.
service. We're basically the BLT of savings until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
From the first face-off to the final sports.
In stand up,
Your home
you need
for
a bonus.
live coverage, expert analysis, and pre- and post-game shows. We bring you closer to the game. Tune in 24/7 only on Sports 1440, Edmonton Sports Station.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today. From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Budget 2026 is focused on what matters to Central Alberta, like 10 new school projects for a total of 27 underway. redeveloping Red Deer Regional Hospital, and investing in more rural family physicians. Expanding trades education at Olds College and upgrading facilities at Lakeland College. Twinning Highway 11 and expanding Red Deer Regional Airport. All while keeping taxes low and growing the economy. For more details, visit alberta.ca/budget. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. We continue on the Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. It is game day. Oilers and the San Jose Sharks. Remember, 7:08 puck drop tonight. So be sure to be ready and prepared as the Oilers trying to move 7 points up on the San Jose Sharks. Some early games, teams in playoff races. The Islanders, Braden Shen has a goal for the Islanders. They lead 1-0 in Toronto. Pavel Zacha has his 21st of the season. Boston leading Montreal 1-0. The Bruins are 1 point back of the Habs. The Habs, in theory, could go from third place tonight. And possibly they lose. They'd fall into the second wildcard spot. Wow. And also the Blue Jackets. They're leading the Hurricanes 1-0. Mason Marchment has his 16th of the season. Columbus wins that game. They're up to 81 points. Could just make everything even tighter in the Eastern Conference. Later on tonight, teams in the playoff race. The Wild, they're probably the one team that can't move anywhere. They're not moving down. Utah's too far behind. And Dallas would really have to tank for them to catch them. So they look like they're kind of locked in that number 3 spot in the Central Division. The Winnipeg Jets, you're telling me there's a chance. They got to win tonight in regulation if they think they still got an outside shot to get in. It's pretty outside, but you never know. Oilers and Sharks. You've got the Sabres on the road in Vegas tonight, and then the Lightning on the road in Seattle. So Seattle and Vegas taking on 2 of the top teams in the Eastern Conference tonight. So lots of games with playoff seeding implications. And it is now 2-0 for the New York Islanders. Let's talk a little more hockey now, because we're joined by Derek Van Diest as we get to our oil report, brought to you by Go Auto, goauto.ca. Over 15,000 vehicles to choose from at 71 different locations. They will find a car color that works for you. Goauto.ca. Derek Van Diest from NHL.com joins us. DBD, man, you refresh the playoff race every day at NHL.com, man. It's awesome in both the East and the Western Conference. Lots of potential matchups and everywhere else. There's like 2 teams. Carolina, we know, is going to win their division. We just don't know if they're going to finish the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed. And then Minnesota, and other than that, it is wide open.
Yeah, it's exciting time of year. And I think that's what makes this time of year fun. It makes the last month of the season fun. You get scoreboard watching, and you're watching to see where teams go. Like, you look at the Oilers, they could finish first in the division, or they can drop out of the playoffs entirely. So it's so tight in that Western Conference, and it's been tight because I think the teams, none of them have kind of gotten on a really good run and just pulled away from people. I think, and it's I think a lot of teams have stumbled along the way, and we've seen it before in the Eastern Conference. You saw that happen a few times, last year or the year before, when Detroit and Philadelphia, they were all kind of losing games along the way, and one of them had to get in almost by default. So, but yeah, it's an exciting time. And it's down at the rink today and talking to the San Jose Sharks, and they are in the mix as well. And Macklin Celebrini was talking about playing meaningful games at this time of the year. They didn't do that last year. So they're excited. Him and Will Smith were down there. And yeah, the Sharks think that they still have a chance if they can put a run together here. And who says that they can't? So a big game tonight, 4-pointer. The Sharks could pull within 3 points of the Oilers, or the Oilers can pull away and get 7 points from the Sharks. So yeah, these are fun when these games mean so much in the standings and when you're playing your own division here late in the season.
I hate to be a party pooper. I don't think the Sharks can make it. I love everything they've done. I think at the end of the day, they'll come up short.
Well, they might, but I think it's such a big thing when you have these young kids playing in these games. And I think we saw that with the Oilers when they were kind of in that they had their young players, and these are huge, valuable experiences. But, that's why you play the games, Jason. Like, they may fall short, but who knows? They go on a bit of a run here. Celebrini may be able to drag these guys in. They probably, the longest shot to do it. But, you look at the other teams in the division, no one's running away with it. The Kraken, I don't know how they're doing it. They have no goal scoring, so they're playing obviously tight checking hockey. Somebody's got to get in, and no one's told the San Jose Sharks that they're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, Bobby McMahon might be the savior. He has been in a few games for the Seattle Kraken, so we'll see if that continues. They got a huge game tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning. What's your thoughts on how the Oilers will handle life without Leon Draisaitl?
Yeah, that, obviously that announcement came as a bit of a surprise. I think we all knew something was up, just the way the players had been talking the last couple of days. Like they were talking like they were going to be without him for a little bit. And I think Ryan Nugent-Hopkins said it this morning, we're going to have to play better defensively. Like, we're not going to get Leon Draisaitl's points, so we're going to have to prevent goals and win tighter checking games. It's really that simple. And Jason Dickinson said the same thing yesterday. It's got to be a defensive effort. We got to go out there. We're not going to score 5 goals to win every night. We're not going to come from behind every night now that you're missing one of your top guns. So you got to win 2-1. You got to win 3-1. You got to win those tight 3-2 games. So I expect the Oilers to kind of tighten up and try to play it better defensively, not take as many risks, knowing that they don't have that offense now that Leon Draisaitl's out for the season. They don't have that ability to come back from 2-3 goal deficits now that he's out for the season. So they have to play a tighter, better checking game, and they have to be more responsible with the puck. And I expect them to do that tonight, because if they turn over the puck against the San Jose Sharks, it could end up in your net in a hurry. So I think that's what they're looking at. That's what they talked about today and yesterday. And I think they've had a couple of days to kind of prepare for this, and now they realize, okay, we're going to have to go forward without one of our best players here down the stretch and try to solidify a playoff spot.
It seems hard to imagine that he could go to another level, but do you think Connor McDavid does without Draisaitl?
Well, I think he may shoot the puck a bit more now, and I think a lot of Oilers fans will be happy with that. If this kind of leads to McDavid now on the power play or in offensive situations, when he gets those good looks, instead of trying to find someone else or trying to look off people, he shoots the puck. And I think he's got a very effective shot. He's a guy, he's shown it in the past, and whatever reason, he always defaults to passing. It's almost like the last option that he has will be to shoot the puck. So if anything, he could take it to another level when it comes in terms of goal scoring, and suddenly kind of take it on himself, say, okay, I don't have Draisaitl on my wing. I don't have him to kind of look off. I'm just going to fire the puck here and kind of try to do it that way. So I think if anything, that might be something good that comes out of this, is you're looking at McDavid starting to score a lot more goals. And he's only 2 for 400. So it's a milestone coming up. So he can get a milestone tonight if he gets there.
Yeah. What's interesting about McDavid is he has the second most shots on goal in the National Hockey League, behind only Nathan McKinnon. But like Nathan McKinnon's about 40 shots ahead of him. So it's like almost half a shot a game. I know it's maybe 3/4, whatever it is right now, but I could see him shooting more. I saw last game, and his commitment to back pressure and everything else, I thought really stood out to me. And McDavid has shown time and time again that he can, just when you don't think his game can go to another level, he can take his game to another level. And I have a sneaking suspicion here that he'll be like the Oilers, I think as a group, DVD have decided that, okay, you know what? We're not that you quote, just flip a switch, but their effort and consistent commitment to defense has looked like they've flipped the switch here lately. And I expect that to continue. And if it does tonight against the Sharks will give you opportunities to score. That's just, they've given up the second most goals in the NHL. They give up a lot of chances.
Yeah, because the Sharks are still a run and gun type team. They still got to learn that defensive approach. Still got to learn how to kind of buckle in and play in their own zone. But they're guys that like to go forward. They get the puck and they go in attack, and they're in attack mode all the time. And it's a very, very young team. We saw the same thing in the Oilers when McDavid and Draisaitl and those guys were that age. They went forward, and they didn't really worry about what was going on the back end. They didn't really worry about turning the puck over in the neutral zone. And you have to learn that to become a championship team. To become a team, you have to learn how to play really well in your own zone and then venture forward. So, yeah, the Sharks are going to give up a lot of chances, but saying that you can't let them generate a lot of chances. You can't turn the puck over to them. You can't do you got to make the safe play with the puck sometimes. Sometimes the safe play is the best play. I know the Oilers like to play possession hockey, and they like to keep the puck, and they like to try and make a play. But, I think you have to look at this situation and go, okay, sometimes, the better play is just to get the puck deep and go and try and work it on the cycle.
Derek Van Diest joins us from NHL.com. DVD, the Oilers could, free up some cap space here, put Draisaitl on LTIR, because I know that even though, they're not going to put him on season-ending LTIR, so you'd put him on LTIR, it frees up, I think it's like $3.8 million is the rule, so that gives them more than enough space to call up some guys, if they want, Ike Howard potentially, but, Robbie Arventi maybe. But I'll say this, the one guy who might be the best suited for a call-up right now might be James Hamlin, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it could be. And you're right. Yeah, they have some leeway now. They have some latitude. They put Draisaitl, they use his money to bring someone up. And I think they're going to have to find a way to play an approach. And I think, we were talking to Jason Dickinson when he said he's going to move up to the second line. He's not going to change his game. He's going to kind of do what he always does. He may get some more opportunity, but he won't be making the spinoramas, as he said, that Draisaitl does. So I think, yeah, you have to kind of see what clicks and what doesn't click. But I think you're going to see a bit more of a grinder type lineup with the Oilers. They're going to try and get offense from obviously their top line and hope that the other lines kind of chip in. But I think it's a good opportunity for the other lines now. They're going to get some meaningful minutes here late in games and in different stages. And someone's going to get power play time that usually doesn't get power play time. We asked Chris Knobloch about that this morning. I said, hey, what's going to happen on the power play? Is that Podkolzin's spot? He said, no, we're going to look around. We're going to test different guys there. Maybe Jack Roslovic gets a look there. Maybe some other guys get a look there. Savoy, who knows? Now that spot opens up. And you can put a couple of guys there to see how they respond playing on the power play. So, like I said, the one door closes, it opens up for other people. And I think this is a situation where if you're one of those guys and you're always lamenting, well, it's always McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice late in the game. Well, step up and be that guy and show them that you can be that guy now.
Yeah. No, hey, I think, was it Todd McClellan or Dave Tippett? I can't remember, the one who was like, knock, knock, opportunity knocks. And, and that's what it's going to be. I agree with you. I think, Roslovic is probably more of a first unit power play guy. And I think it would make sense long-term there. Matt Savoy doesn't get a ton of power play time, even on the second unit right now. So, and I think that's because the coaches, he plays a lot in the penalty kill, so they want to keep other guys involved. But the way that he keeps playing DVD, you might have to say, hey, God, Savoy's one of our hottest offensive players. We got to get him on the second unit power play.
Well, he's an offensive guy. He's always been an offensive guy. He's an offensive guy, coming up. And then it was a situation that he would be the first to admit. He went to the American Hockey League and learned how to play in his own end. He went to the American Hockey League and learned how to kill penalties. He never did much of that before. And so once you become responsible defensively, that's when coaches will start to play more. That's when they'll give you more opportunity, when they know they can throw you out there and you're not going to be a liability in your own end. So I think he's kind of developed that. He's shown that. And now he's getting more opportunity to in offensive situations. He's playing with McDavid now. You got a rookie playing with Connor McDavid. And we've all seen his skill. We've all seen his ability to read the game. He's a very smart player. He can get up and down the ice, and he knows where to be. And he's got lots of offensive skill. But it was just a matter of kind of shoring things up in his own end. So, yeah, we'll see what kind of opportunity comes now with with these games left. What is it, 14 games they have left? See what kind of opportunity they have and what guys they can slide in and slide out of the lineup.
DVD, as always, good to catch up with you, buddy. We will see you down at the rink. Have a good one.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on.
There you go. That's Derek Van Dies from NHL.com. Quick break. We'll come back. Cam Tate. We're also here from Matt Savoy on the Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Style & Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
When life unexpectedly changes, it can leave us feeling unbalanced, uncertain, and unsure of how to move forward. But you don't have to go through it alone. I'm Corey Anderson with Fairway Divorce Solutions. Our team helps reestablish balance, guiding you through your divorce with compassion, clarity, and support. Fairway has helped more than 6,500 families across Canada find a path towards a peaceful, fair resolution. With 2 offices in Edmonton, we're here to make your journey easier. Discover your options at Fairway Divorce.
Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports is Sports 1440.
From Low Tide to Kevin Karius and Jason Gregor, we deliver the latest on your favorite teams.
Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week
To Sports 1440.
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, Makar, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit ProSolutionsInc.ca to schedule your service today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
5:43 as we roll through busy Tuesday afternoon. Jason Gregor, Connor Howling here with you. We got a pregame show coming up. Paulson and Walker walk you through right up to a puck drop tonight at 7:08. Oilers and the Sharks, the Canadians have tied it. Nick Suzuki's 24th, Slavkovsky and Caulfield. And how about Callum Ritchie's got 2 points tonight for the Islanders in a big game for them. And the Blue Jackets have kind of taken over that game. At home anyway. They're getting outshot 6-1. Now it's 9-6 and they lead 1-0 and they're on the power play. So Oilers and Sharks later tonight. All the games that matter for the Oilers: Sabres in Vegas, Lightning in Seattle. Let's get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Look at it's melting outside. You're starting to think, Man, you know what? I was really hot last summer. I want to get some AC. Well, Legacy Heating can help you out. No payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. LegacyHeating.ca. Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town. Of course, Cam has cerebral palsy. He's born with it. He's in a wheelchair, but for 45 years, he's never let him slow down. He's always wanted to be in radio, but was unable to until technology changed. And now, through the wonders of technology, Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
Part 10 of 10 on our series on the Paralympics, which ended Sunday.
I'm AJ Murley, the equipment manager with Hockey Canada, and I've been with Hockey Canada for 5 years.
Welcome, AJ. What has been the strangest repair you had to make to a sled during a game?
Strangest. I wouldn't say strange. I would say the most chaotic, being that a guy's sled cracked in half in the middle of a game. So we ended up stealing our assistant coach's sled, who is now one of our players, Greg Westlake. Happened to be a double amputee whose sled cracked, and we had to basically rip his bucket off of his sled, put it on Greg Westlake's frame, and get him back out. And I think we had him back out there in 5 minutes. So
Incredible. Just 5 minutes. Wow. The difference between stand-up hockey and para?
Yeah, so obviously there's quite a few bolts, nuts and bolts on each sled. So whenever you're sharpening a set of blades, you're looking at each bolt almost the same way when you're sharpening a set of skates. You would check the rivets to make sure they're intact and not rusted out. But you're checking, to make sure the skag on the nose is tightened, not loose. Make sure there's no tubes on the frames that are bent. The blade holder's nice and tight. And you're inspecting the bucket to make sure there's no cracks or anything that, could really malfunction during a game when you need it most. In stand-up, you are an equipment manager. In para hockey, you are a mixture between an equipment manager, a bit of an engineer, a MacGyver, and also a mechanic. So you put it all together, and we're basically a NASCAR picker.
2-minute warning. Gregor, Hallie, Kruger. Gee, hope he doesn't cry now that the series is over. This is Cam Tate, Sports 1440.
It's a really good 10-day feature for a Tater. Learned a lot about the Paralympics and different things. And hey, we got to be a little bit of a pit crew, sounds like, in Paralympics. So it's great. And Canada, of course, they win the silver medal, which is kind of unfortunate for this year, is kind of par for the course for the Canadians in hockey. We lost men's, women's, and in Paralympics to the United States. So it just means that we'll have something to shoot for coming up in a few years. Now, let's get to Matt Savoy. And has he noticed for him, is the season and the game starting to slow down as he's gotten more comfortable? We got a little technical difficulties, Cons. Just yell at me when it's good to roll. So we wait for that. We'll get some now it's good. Okay, here's Matt Savoy on, does he feel like things are slowing down for him as he gets into games 60 plus?
Yeah, for sure. I think coming off of the Olympic break, the game really slowed down for me, and been feeling more comfortable with the puck. My legs have been feeling really well. So I feel good right now.
And the excitement / nervousness maybe of getting to play with Connor McDavid.
Yeah, definitely feeling more comfortable. It can be tough playing with a guy like that, the speed that he plays at and some of the plays that he makes, but definitely getting more used to it and more accustomed to kind of how quick the passes come and some plays that he's able to make that not many guys are. So it's been a lot of fun. Obviously, he drives a lot of the play, and it's been fun to play with him.
Yeah, I would think so. But hey, don't shortchange the fact that Matt Savoy has fit in well and has earned his ice time with McDavid. His speed, his smarts, and the combination of his ability to make the right play at high speed is something I just don't think could be overlooked. And that's going to be a main reason, Connor, why you see Matt Savoy, I think, stick here for a while on the wing with Connor McDavid, because it's his tenacity, his speed, but it's his ability to make the right play at high speed. And I think he's the fastest guy to ever play with McDavid.
Yeah, you brought that up yesterday. I was trying to think of, like, is there anyone out there, you know, did Anthony say you play with him for any time?
Nah,
Like,
not really.
Like, yeah, there really hasn't been that guy.
And the thing was, Anthony Seo could skate. He couldn't make plays at high speed.
Oh, 100%. Like, he good straight line speed for sure, but he didn't have the ability, I think, to play with him long term. Maybe the hockey IQ that required to play with McDavid as well. So he's been awesome. And like Gregor, I love those stories, like the guys who, you know, highly touted, but that's not good enough for them. They try to, you know, round out their game. Going back to Leon Draisaitl, when he was drafted, I don't know if anyone thought he'd be the shooter or have the speed that he would have at the pro level. For Savoy, like, we knew he was a good offensive player. That's why he was drafted where he was, but that wasn't enough for him. He went down to Bakersfield, worked on his defensive game. Now he's one of the most trusted forwards when it comes to the defensive side of things as well. So I'm a huge fan of what Matthew Savoy has done for this team, and, you know, really intrigued to see how high and how much better he can be.
And like 9 points in 10 games, like with 14 games to go, I would not be stunned that you see Matt Savoy end the season at around a 0.9 point per game pace here down the stretch. Like, you're playing with McDavid and you think the game as well as Savoy does, he's going to get points automatically. And he with Leon Draisaitl out of the lineup, you know, that line's going to have to be even better and more productive 5-on-5, because that, as much as Draisaitl, like, the power play is going to miss him because the numbers don't lie. When he's the trigger man, the power play is the best. That's just a fact. It doesn't. So that's going to be hard to overcome, I think, a little bit for the Edmonton Oilers. They're going to have to ensure that their power play finds ways to be productive even without Draisaitl. I know that's, you'd be like, well, they got, yeah, but you're used to some things that just work better when he's in the lineup. And now you don't have that. So, you know, because it's not just his shooting ability, it's his passing ability and his reads. And, you know, he can make plays that a lot of guys just can't make. And he tries plays that a lot of guys don't. I know they don't all work, but lots of them do work more than most. And that leads to just more opportunities. And so I'm kind of curious to see, can the power play get out of the funk without Draisaitl? That to me is going to be the biggest challenge for them. I like 5-on-5, Podkolzin and Kapanen probably aren't going to be able to do as much without Draisaitl, no question. So the Dickinson line, Roslovic, Nugent Hopkins, they're going to have to step up a bit. And I'm kind of interested to see Szymanski here, if he gets like a regular 13 minutes, what he could potentially do with that. Right? Or maybe, like, do they play the fourth line? Like with Jones, I don't know, maybe not. I know we got some texts to wrap up the show. Hey, guys, who do you think they'll recall? Well, if you look at the lines, I don't think there's anybody you're recalling that's going to go in the top two lines. So unless they think Szymanski can't handle their 3 center spot, I'm not sure you bring up an Ike Howard, right? Like, Ike Howard's playing well down in the minors, but there's something to be said about just staying there. Look at Matt Savoy last year. He was basically in the minors a whole year. Did it hurt him? I've always argued it does not hurt. So I could make an argument that, you know, calling up James Hamlin might be a better move for the organization if you're looking at development of players. Just a thought. He's very reliable. Or Yarventi. I could see. I'm just not sure that Howard fits to what they're looking for right now, bottom 6 guy. So we'll see. Coming up, Walker and Paulson as the Oilers and the Sharks. Big game tonight. Man, big game every night in NHL this week. I love it. So enjoy all of that. We'll break it down with you tomorrow. And, of course, we'll have the post-game show after the final whistle tonight. On behalf of Connor and Declan, I'm Jason Gregor. Have yourselves a fantastic Tuesday evening. Here's the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Ewell, your partner in power since 1976. For all your electrical gear, EWEL.ca. Good night.
The Sports 1440 update.
case you missed it, the Edmonton Oilers announcing that forward Leon Draisaitl will miss the remainder of the regular season with a lower body injury. The Oil in action tonight, taking on the San Jose Sharks down at Rogers Place. Puck drop just after 7. Our pregame coverage coming up next here on Sports 1440. Games underway already after 20 minutes. Islanders up on the Leafs 2-0. The Bruins and Canadians tied at 1 apiece. In Columbus, Jackets up on the Canes 2-0. And midway through the first, the Blackhawks trail Minnesota 2-0. Later on tonight, you got the Panthers and the Canucks, Jets host the Preds, Sabres in Vegas, and the Kraken taking on the Golden Knights in the association. Right now, Thunder up on the Magic 45-33. The Heat have a 44-43 lead over the Hornets, and the Wizards at home trail the Pistons 49-47. Later this evening, Bucks host the Cavs, Suns in Minnesota, Nuggets taking on the Sixers, and the Spurs in Sacramento. NCAA basketball final or March Madness first four right now. Howard up on UMBC 49-43, just getting the second half going. Later on tonight, Texas taking on NC State. And in the PWHL, Boston, Toronto scoreless after 20 minutes. And in the NFL earlier today, Dolphins trading away wideout Jalen Waddle along with a 4th-round pick to the Broncos for a 1st, 3rd, and 4th. The Miami Dolphins will now have $175 million in dead cap space this season. Coming up next year on Sports 1440, pregame coverage with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Landon Ferraro. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
In Sports 1440.